Good November Friday morning, November 1st. It's finally starting to feel like football season outside. Yesterday, Halloween, was a cool, crisp day, and not quite as cool today, but this evening it's going to get down and feel like, what we would consider playoff football feel, right? Justin Bean here, Jacob Nail, coming to you with another pregame. This is week 9, and Jacob, where's the season gone?
Man, it seems like just yesterday we were in the press box for the first time. It's flown by, but time flies when you're having fun, and fun comes with success, or flip that, success comes with fun. So, it's just been a fun season.
It has. Henryetta last week traveled to Antlers, improved to 6-2 on the year, 4-1 in district play. Just a great year for Henryetta. Only 2 losses were to a tradition-rich Beggs squad, to a playoff team, and then 2 weeks ago at Vian, and everybody knows, how good Vian's been over the years. So those are no shame losses for sure. But they've handled business on the weeks they were expected to, and last week was no different at Antlers. Just before we go over stats, Jacob, why don't you give me your thought on the Antlers game in general?
Well, I thought at the beginning of the game, we kind of started off a little slower than we thought we were going to. But in the words of Mr. Steve Norman, you can only corral a wild horse for so long, and they really got rolling there in the second half. Another shutout out of the defense, out of their 4th shutout of the season, which is so impressive. So at the end of the day, you're not going to have, a crazy offensive game every week. But if you can continue to have that defensive success that we've seen, you're going to be successful.
And if you guys watched our live stream last week, we were kind of in a situation we haven't been in this year as far as where we were. Antlers home stadium was very small on the visitor side. There was no press box space for us on the home side. There was a couple of old-looking deer stands over there that we were not going to climb in general, let alone take our table and all of our equipment. There'd be no way, unless we were both firemen. We weren't scaling up there. But so we actually set our camera in the bleachers and moved our table down along the sideline. And I say that, I know I've mentioned it a few times that happened. It was kind of difficult calling a game down there because more or less we were just looking at our screen, watching what the camera was showing, which was what you were watching. But the cool thing about being down there was we were really close to the action, and you could hear a lot of things going on the field. And the thing that stood out to me most was it was just a very subdued atmosphere. It was hot and muggy, and I don't know if Henryetta if we just were expecting to go win, or as a coach, I've seen this with teams so many times. It's like at the beginning of the season, everybody's excited, right? Like all the games are exciting because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, not only for football season, but we've been waiting to watch this football team play. And then you go through the middle of the season, which is what I kind of feel like is a little bit of a lull that runs right up into as you get into the final couple of games. And if you're in a playoff chase or a situation where you're having to win every week to make the playoffs, each game is bigger and bigger. Henryetta would clinch with a win over Antlers, a spot in the playoffs, but more than likely we're going to make it anyway. And so I just think it was one of those I want to call it a trap game because, anytime you come off of a loss, you're usually ready to go. You're motivated for it not to happen again. But also the highs and what it takes out of you to play a team like Vian the next week, you're a little flat. You're still a couple of weeks away from playoff time. So I think it was a mixture of all those things, and Antlers didn't have a great record coming into the game. So I don't think Henryetta, our boys, our team, were super fired up. And they played well, but there just wasn't a lot of energy, and that speaks to the type of squad that you have when you can not be at your best, but still pretty much control the football game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think kind of after Vian, there was probably some questions being asked of like, oh, can we do this well? Can we do this well? And there was definitely a change in some stuff. We saw a little bit more decisive running. It wasn't as much. There wasn't as downhill. We didn't have as much success throwing the ball as I think we probably should have.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, we kind of got rolling there towards the second half, and it's a good team, and they're good enough to where even if they're not going stride for stride with what they're usually doing,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're gonna find successful plays.
Henryetta won the game 34-0, and it sounds like we lost the way we're talking about
No.
it. But it was kind of one of those feels where I talked to a few people after the game, and it's like, we won. All right, let's go back home. We'll see you next week. And when you start having success, wins, when you're in seasons where 2 or 3 wins a year, every win is like big. But Henrietta's kind of entered into a territory that Henrietta football hasn't been in a whole lot of, ever really. I mean, there's been great years. We've referenced the 07-08 teams in the district title, going to the quarterfinals of the playoffs. But these guys are kind of making it old hat, and they won 34-0. Let's go over some statistics in the game. Henrietta controlled the chains with 19 first downs to Antlers 6, and just a good job by the Henrietta defense. They bent a few times, but they never really broke. Antlers was running wishbone, and we've talked about our defense and how well they are against the run. They weren't set up with the type of offense that they needed to be able to move the ball in Henrietta, and that's obvious in only 6 first downs on the game. In the rushing department, Henrietta ran for 185 yards, net yards, and a lot of that was at the end. I think Jason broke off a 60-yarder there at the end. Antlers ran for 65, which again kind of speaks to – actually, they ran for 131, but their net yards was 65 because of sacks and loss, tackles for losses by that Henrietta defense. On the passing side, how about this for balance? 185 rushing for Henrietta, 183 passing, and 2 of those were to big strikes to Gavin. One was a catch-and-run bubble screen that I think he took at 40-plus yards. And then a play that our viewers at home didn't get to watch because our wireless camera battery went dead, and I was just pretty much doing radio play, which again I don't know if Gavin got on to you
sure
about
yet.
that, but anyway, we didn't get that on video. But nice pass to Gavin there in the 4th that brought Brady to a 183 total. Total offense on the night: 368 Henrietta, 67 Antlers. In the penalty department, I can't believe we had 7 penalties. I just don't remember that many penalties thrown against us. If they were, I think they were procedure penalties. But I don't believe a single personal foul or unsportsmanlike or anything like that. So improvement in that department, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a personal foul on Antlers.
Mm-hmm.
Their quarterback ended up spiking the ball, but that was because our defensive line was in the backfield pretty much every play. But they stayed composed. It wasn't like there wasn't any energy at all. It was just like they came in, like it was a business trip, and they took care of business for sure.
Yeah, you will always talk about in those games when we had a few of those, naughty penalties, where we're like, well, it's a game of emotion and emotions are high, and there wasn't a whole lot of that.
No.
So, there wasn't any of that, but that is something Henrietta's going to have not only tonight against Spyro, but as they move forward and get into the playoffs, they've got to be clean on the penalty side and the turnover side. Talking about scoring by quarter, Henrietta came out in the first quarter and pretty much seized control of the football game. Jason Powders at the 4:18 mark scored on a 2-yard run. Blaze Hill kick was good. And then we talked about that bubble screen to Gavin. 38-yard pass from Brady Norman. Kick was no good at 3:36. And Henrietta led it 13-0 at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, just a lot of, ground game on both sides. Nothing really doing until Henrietta's defense backed Antlers into a corner. They tried to punt. Bad snap. The punter grabs it. We tackle him in the end zone for a safety. Excuse me. So Henrietta leads 15-0 at the half. No scoring in the third quarter. And so, we go into the fourth quarter thinking we should be winning the game comfortably, and we were, but it didn't feel comfortable because it's 2 scores. Anything can happen in that moment, and you got to kind of wondering, is this the trap game? Henrietta's going to, slip up and not win a game they should. But the Knights responded with a big fourth quarter with 3 scores. The first one, 9:09 mark, Jason Powder's 3-yard run. Kick failed at the 8:04 mark, which is literally almost a minute and 5 seconds difference. I believe Antlers turned the ball over, and William Perez with a beautiful 36-yard touchdown reception from Brady Norman. Blaze Hill's kick was good, and with 2:47 left, Nathan White scores with a 2-yard run, and that brought us to the final score, 34-0. So, kind of a ho-hum night for Henrietta, but it sets up another big showdown tonight versus Spyro. Before we get into that, let's talk about individuals. Jason Powders eclipsed the 100-yard mark, inching closer and closer. We'll talk about that in just a second, to that single-season rushing record with 107 yards. Nathan White, a nice night on the ground, 63 yards and a score. Jason had 2 scores. William Perez, 10 yards, and Brady Norman had 1 carry for 5. Brady threw for 183 through the air on 13 of 21, the long being a 41-yarder to Gavin Williams. On the receiving side, Gavin had a nice night, 91 yards with 1 score. William Perez, 65 yards with 1 score. Nathan White, 11 yards. And Nakona Johnson and Nathan Nail, both with 9 yards receiving. On the defensive side, we had a different leading tackler on the game, and we mentioned it in the broadcast. Bub Miller had 10 tackles to lead Henrietta, 6 unassisted. And I will tell you, I thought Bub played with some emotion in the second half last Friday night.
I agree. Him and Tater both. They were smoking people. I mean, meeting people in the hole. Tater was meeting some guys in the backfield. I mean, you could hear it from where we were sitting for sure.
Yeah, and another name that, we've talked about early on, and he's just kind of been not lost in the shuffle, but, again, he's drawing probably the best blockers. He's drawing double teams all year long. Senior Jordan Miller with 10 tackles. I think that's the first time he's been in double digits in a game. But right up his alley with a rushing attack from Antlers in the wishbone. Jordan had a nice night in that regard. Nathan White just short of double digits with 9. Taylor Hamrick, a down game considerable for Taylor, but 6 stops. Blake Gaxiola, 6 stops. It was nice to see Blake. He looked a little bit more, mobile this week, and hopefully he'll be even better this week in a big game versus Spyro. Jason Powders, 4. Nakona Johnson, 3. Nathan Nail and Jason Scott both had 2. Landon Jones, Tucker McManus, and Blaze Hill rounded out with 1 tackle apiece. So that is all she wrote. We'll close the book on Antlers. On the season, just a couple things to note. Jason Powders, 1,298 yards. So I believe that puts him right about 322 away from the single-season mark held by Mr. Nick Hudson with 2 games left. So Jason, I'm sure in the back of his mind, chasing that. The leader in the receiving department, Will Perez, with 473 yards and 5 touchdowns. And on the defensive side, just to mention, we talked about him having a down night, but through 8 games, Taylor Hamrick reaches the 100 tackle mark, which is pretty impressive. 38 of those unassisted. Nathan White pretty close behind him at 78. So let's talk about tonight, Jacob. What are you thinking out of Spyro?
So one thing that I talked about a little bit last week is that our DBs felt like they were going to do a lot of standing and watching. And this week is going to be the complete opposite. So Spyro is going to come in wanting to sling the rock. I mean, they're looking to throw the ball just about every play.
Oh, drop my phone. Go ahead.
And so our DBs, Gavin, who I was going to talk about him a second ago, seems to be improving wonders week by week. I don't think anybody's caught a ball on him all year, and they target him like probably 5 times a game. So he's knocking everything down. It's a no-fly zone over there. So I'm excited to see how our defense is showing pressure tonight, how many they're sending, but then again, how well our coverage is tonight and how it blankets the field.
Yeah, Gavin has done a really nice job. He finds himself one-on-one on an island a lot of times, and, for the most part, he's been step for step with guys and, contesting, receptions, and he's done a really nice job. That's a good point. And Henryetta hasn't given up many yards through the air. When they've struggled, you could say they did against Beggs, but most of those are more like short behind the line of scrimmage passes, and they're like catch and run type situations. But done a good job since then. Vian was primarily on the ground. I watched a little film on Spyro this week. They've got a big, tall, athletic-looking quarterback. I think he's like 6'5". And he looked to run the football a lot. Last week, they had a big win over Atoka, who is our Week 10 opponent. They end up winning 28-21, but Spyro is another school that, when you look back into the past of winning football programs, Spyro has done their fair share of winning. Their season record may not show it as much this year. They're coming into the game at 3-5, but 3-2 in district play. So all 3 of their wins have been in district play, and they are in the thick of trying to earn a playoff spot. And Henryetta has clinched, but tonight's game is super important, because if they are to knock off Spyro, if they are to take care of them here at home tonight, Henryetta would improve to 5-2 on the season, and pretty much they would improve to 7-2 on the season, 5-1 in district play, and we thought would pretty much clinch the second place spot in the district. However, there's a big game Henrietta's not a part of in Week 10 between Valiant and Vian, the 2 V's. Somebody's going to get a victory, and if Valiant was to upset Vian, even if Henryetta beats Spyro tonight and Atoka next week, it becomes a 3-way tie, because all of them will have beat each other and only have 1 loss. But if Henryetta beats Spyro tonight, they pretty much they become a lock for first or second. I don't think they can win first in the 3-way tie scenario if Valiant was to win. And let's face it, most likely Valiant's not going to beat Vian, but crazy things happen in Week 10 of a football season. You never know what's going on there. So, but a big game tonight. Spyro's going to come in hungry, looking to make the playoffs, wanting to get a big win over Henryetta, and we've got to get started quick tonight. And play well early, don't you think?
Absolutely, Coach. I think that this is kind of like what you said. This is a game where the guys got to come in with a little bit more energy, because they're still playing for something. They're still playing for an extra game at home, especially as old and as many seniors as we have on this team. That's going to be really special. And this Spyro team coming in is fighting for a playoff spot. They're fighting for just an extra game in general. And so it's going to come down to the boys, taking care of business and making sure, that their heads are screwed on straight going into the game.
Yeah, I also noticed, watching the film between Spyro and Atoka, Atoka's not going to be a pushover the last game of the season either, but you can't get the cart ahead of the horse, more or less. And that's exactly what Henryetta needs to do, not only just focusing on tonight. They just need to take it one play at a time, one quarter at a time, win the line of scrimmage like we've done in most of our wins this year. And, our 2 losses, we didn't do as good a job up front. So if our offensive line and our defensive front 7 can control the ball game, I think Henrietta's offense is going to score. But it would be great to have an amazing crowd on hand tonight at Cameron Field. Obviously, we would love for you guys to join us, but the best of both worlds is, go to the game, experience that atmosphere, watch it back later in the weekend, hopefully celebrating another Henryetta win. And we talked about the energy in the stadium the last time we were there. in that final 5 or 6 minutes against Valiant. We need to start tonight's game as a fan base in that same mode.
Yeah. And I didn't get to talk to you about this. I have a challenge for fans, for everybody that's watching. So the third quarter, we're coming out of halftime. Either you're at the concession stand. I know our cheerleaders are taking a break. Our band's taking a break. I challenge our student section, and I challenge our fans in the stands. Be as rowdy as possible, because momentum coming out in the second half has been something that it's been hard for us to grasp. So if we can have our fans as rowdy as possible come that third quarter, it's easier to ride that wave going towards the end of the game.
That's a good point. Yeah. So there you have it. The gauntlet has been laid down, or the challenge has been laid down from Mr. Jacob Nail. H-Town fans, kick it into high gear this tonight at Cameron Field. We will see you there. Pre-game will start around 6:30, where you can watch this back if you hadn't had a chance. We'll have our hype video attached on to the end. We went a little different direction with the hype video this week. We weren't able to get on field footage last week at Antlers, but it'll be all good. We're excited about watching the game tonight and calling it from our booth. Happy to be back home in our own booth, up in an elevated position, and give you guys the coverage that you deserve. So, once again, at HHS Night Vision TV, kicking off around 6:30, 6:35 tonight. We will see you either at Cameron Field or right here on your screen. You guys have a great day. Remember, it's always a great day to be a Henryetta Knight. Said, hey, 51, great sportsmanship. Oh, look out. That's going to be a sack. Tried to punt it. Henryetta tackles him in the end zone. Hey, here, 2-point conversion. Brady rolling out. Pass. It's caught. It's good. Who caught it? Who caught it? Gavin Williams, 2-point conversion. But we'll take one for the other. Screen right there to Gavin Williams. He's got room, trying to get a block. Breaks a tackle. Look out. Gavin Williams down the sideline, and he is in for an little option there. To the outside, he's hit in the backfield for a loss. With and off again. Ooh, stuck hard right there. Snap, Dory's fake pass right there. Caught. Nope. All right, here we go. 4th and 13. Play of the game right here. Quarterback rolling to his right, looking to pass, throws it. It's caught. Oh my goodness! He's tackled! He went short! Side judge, our buddy's gonna call him short this time! Henryetta football! It is pandemonium at Cameron Field. Well, good Friday evening, H-Town. Those of you not in H-Town watching from long distances or wherever you're watching from, welcome into the booth with myself, Coach Justin Bean, here with
HHS Senior Jacob Nail.
And also in the booth with me to my right, running the camera, Mr.
Isaac Whitlock.
Last time we were in this booth together, we about brought it down. That was the big win you probably saw right there in the hype video where we were all screaming and jumping up and down up here in the booth when Henryetta had the big 42-41 win over Valiant. And we're excited about tonight's Week 9 matchup where the Knights welcome the Spyro Bulldogs. And tonight is a big, big football game for many reasons. Jacob, what are your thoughts?
I hope the guys are ready to play. Honestly, I know the guys are ready to play. They watching them warm up, they seem really excited, but they also seem really locked in. This Spyro team, as I was watching them warm up, they got a really talented QB. He's on the taller side, and he doesn't just throw the ball to receivers. He throws the ball where it needs to be, and then there's a big difference in that. So if he continues to do that during the game, it's going to be a test for our DBs, and I'm excited to see how they respond.
6'6", senior, 220-pound quarterback, Bryson Graham for the Bulldogs. Just having a nice year. He passes the eye test out on the field. As you said, we were watching him sling it around out there during pregame, and he was throwing some nice footballs, but guess what? he didn't have any black and gold helmets coming at him, and we're hoping that that really turns the tide in terms of his accuracy. Mr. Graham has thrown for 12 touchdown passes on the year and has ran for 10. He leads the team not only in passing but also in rushing as well. He has 51 more rush attempts than any other player on the Spyro team. So in the passing department, he's thrown for 1,687 yards. So we're probably seeing, Jacob, maybe as far as arm talent goes, maybe the best QB we've seen all year long.
Yeah, for sure, Coach. And I think that this defensive line, as we've seen teams that have kind of thrown the ball in previous games this season, is we're going to send a lot of pressure. It's going to be really hard for you to get that ball, or for the QB to get the ball out of his hands, which creates more opportunities for our DBs. So hopefully tonight that's the case, and maybe we can get a couple gooses and get some interceptions tonight, hopefully. So we'll see.
Well, games like this that have playoff implications, not really playoff implications for Henryetta in terms of whether or not they are going to make the playoffs. They've already locked up a position, but a big win tonight over Spyro would almost lock up a home first-round playoff game. Now, they still have next week here, senior night against Atoka. Spyro beat that Atoka team last week, 28-21, and don't want to count any chickens before they're hatched, but just a big game all the way around, and we're expecting a good atmosphere. You know, the crowd is not quite as packed as I thought it would be for a big football game. Henryetta at 6-2, off to their best start in a long time, and have a chance to move it to 7-2 tonight, 4-1 in district play, trying to go 5-1. As you guys see there on our River Spirit or Muskogee Nation sideline cam, Mr. Mavericks Randleman down there doing work out there in the run-out line. You see a bunch of little girls down there in pink shirts. Tonight is mini cheer night. They're going to be performing at halftime, and so they've been working with our high school cheer team all week in the evenings, and so they're excited to show you what they've learned. And so just a nice night all the way around, Jacob. Nice weather tonight, not too cold. Usually, we were talking about it up here, week 9, you don't usually see people walking into the bleachers with short sleeve shirts on, but they got them on tonight, and it's going to start raining tomorrow, which we need the rain, but thank goodness it's holding off. So tonight is just about who the better football team is, or who plays the best tonight.
I'm glad you talked about that, Coach. It's hard. It's hard because what people aren't realizing, it's November. There's no excuse for short sleeves in November. So it's definitely a little odd, but I've always been a fan of the warmer weather, so it's not much of a problem to me.
Well, if it's anything like Oklahoma, we're going to go straight from warmth to cold.
Yeah.
Haven't really looked at the extended too much to see what next week looks like. I don't think it looks bad, actually, but if we have a game, don't have a single game to where, you know, you're putting on the big heavy coat, it'll definitely be a year unlike any other in quite some time. You see Mav out there getting you some pregame footage of the coin toss. Looks like the toss was called by Spyro, and it looks like maybe Henryetta won the toss. And maybe they didn't. We'll see. No, it looks like Spyro's going to win the toss, and they elect to receive. And if you look right there, number 2 in your screen, the big tall lad, is Bryson Graham, that quarterback we were talking about from Spyro. But he probably hasn't seen too many front sevens like this bunch he's going to see tonight. So, Jacob, you've mentioned it time and time again. You think that'll be the difference in the football game?
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about it plenty, and what better time to talk about it than the day after Halloween, as this defense is scary. And hopefully we can see that tonight.
Excuse me. So we are about ready to welcome the Knights onto the field. Looks like Spyro's getting ready to come out. For a minute there, I thought that they brought a fog machine with them, but that is just the Henryetta baseball grill. running over there, cooking hamburgers up, and about 10 minutes ago, that line was about 30 people deep. So here comes Spyro, and at the same time, the Night Brigade on cue, starting the fight song, and here comes your Henryetta Knights. There are the fireworks going off in the background. We appreciate Route 66 Fireworks for supplying those for us at home games. And look at all the Little League kiddos out there. That's pretty cool. Good job, Mav, on the fireworks there. Bringing everybody sitting at home right in to feel like you're sitting at Cameron Field. And so we're getting ready to have our national anthem. And at this time, while that's going on, we're going to take a quick break before we get to action to hear from our title sponsor, Love Ford, here in Henryetta. We appreciate them. Well, let's hear from Brad and Brian. You're watching Night Vision TV on Friday night under the lights.
You are watching Night Vision TV, home of Henryetta Athletics, powered by Love Ford, right here in Henryetta.
Hello, Henryetta.
Brad and Brian here with Love Ford. We are proud to showcase our town on our radio show Saturday mornings on the Sports Animal.
And check out our podcast on YouTube.
Brad, who's from Henryetta?
16-time world champion Jim Shoulders.
Who else, Brad's from Henryetta?
3-time Super Bowl champion Troy Aikman.
And your favorite actress from Henryetta, Brad?
Miss Alice Ghostley.
We have great deals, great service, and the Love 15150.
That's 15 years, 150,000-mile warranty on all new Fords, gas or diesel.
And 7 years, 150,000 miles added on qualified pre-owns.
So, Brian, the best place to buy a new car is Love Ford.
Yep, right here in our town. Join us in supporting the Knights and come see us.
Hey, don't forget me and Buddy.
Never. Or visit iloveford.com.
That's L-U-V, baby!
Is your organization tired of tech headaches? Let Shipman Consulting handle it. From cybersecurity to managed IT services, we keep your IT running smoothly so you can focus on what matters most. Call Shipman Consulting today and experience hassle-free IT. 918-200-9543. That's Shipman Consulting. Shipman Consulting is the proud sponsor of wireless internet for Night Vision TV.
A one-of-a-kind experience awaits you at River Spirit Casino Resort. Island-inspired vibes and beautiful river views from our luxurious resort hotel. Endless gaming excitement with 2 casinos under one roof, Margaritaville and River Spirit, and fine dining excellence at the only Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Oklahoma. So many unforgettable experiences you won't find anywhere else, only at River Spirit Casino Resort.
And we are back right in time for our state song, Oklahoma. And the H-Town fans are on their feet. And I said there wasn't very many people here. I think it's just right in front of us guys here in the bleachers. A few spots open, which is usually taken up by my family. But they're all taking it in from home tonight. But quite a few people on the sides. And Spyro were decent group of people up I-40 to watch tonight's ball game. Spyro again coming in tonight's contest at 3-5, but all 3 of those wins have been in District 2A8. So Spyro looking for another win tonight or next week to assure themselves making the playoffs. They beat, I believe, Morris, Atoka, and Wilburton.
Yes.
And they play Antlers next week, which will be probably a pretty good football game. But here we go. We got one ahead of us. It's Friday night. And the lights are on in H-Town, and we are underway. Kick goes to number 7 for Spyro. He is tripped up. There is a flag on the play, so maybe moving him back even more. That was number 7, Connor Reed. for the Bulldogs. And so illegal blindside block is the call versus Spyro. So that's going to march them back even more. The return only came out to the 20. So, Jacob, we've seen Henryetta kick out of bounds a lot this year. That time they went right at number 7, and it paid off.
It's a great start, especially at home. You know, everybody's starting to stand up, starting to get a little warm. The music's blaring, and to get something like that is a great jump for your defense.
And here we go. 6'6" quarterback, senior Bryson Graham for the Bulldogs in the shotgun. First snap, he's looking to throw, and it is in and out of the receiver's hands, and it almost hit Nady in the chest. That would have been a nice start, little pick six action right there. And I tell you what, I'm looking for his number. The young man standing at number 20, standing next to the quarterback, just Sean Jones, 6'2" junior, isn't small by any means. So once again, Spyro passing the eye test early on. Handoff goes up the middle, and there is that Henryetta defense flexing. Looks like, guess who? Number 51, Taylor Hamrick. And I know that's making folks all the way out in West Virginia. D, thanks for watching. Giving you a shout out. Matt and Stephanie and Madison and Hamrick in Pryor. And also in South Carolina, Mr. Zach Hamrick, following Night Vision TV. We appreciate you guys joining us. Taylor's off to a great start. And I'll make a correction on something we talked about in the pregame in just a second after this play. 3rd and 12. Graham back to pass. Looking, trying to throw it to number 40. He's open, breaks a tackle, still got room, breaks another tackle, and he has run out of bounds at the 47. And there is that on-the-move arm for Bryson Graham, number 40. Davis Carter on the reception had a step on his guy, and big first down here for the Bulldogs.
And that's what comes with a passing offense, Coach, is the 3rd and longs. It's easier to be able to create a play that's explosive like that to where you can kind of turn the momentum.
It kind of looked like he was going to run a draw, so I think it kind of fooled us right there. Oh, there's that rush you're talking about. He's brought down by number 52, Jordan Miller, on the sack right there with Jason Scott. And Mr. Graham, that kind of pressure is what we're going to need. We'll see if he'll be able to step up and avoid that rush. And if Henryetta is able to get through the front 5 of Spyro, that's going to work out much better to defend what looks to be a big, strong-armed, elusive, mobile quarterback. 2nd and long. Straight drop. Pass is way over his intended receiver. So another 3rd and long coming up. Henryetta got to contain him, not just throwing, but running as well. We talked about a mistake. We mentioned in the pregame, we talked about Taylor Hamrick having an off night last week because we said that he had 6 tackles. We were wrong about that. Our stats were a little bit off. Taylor had 14, so he ended up taking him to 109 tackles on the year through 8 games, and he's already got 1 for sure here tonight. 3rd and 15 for the Bulldogs. There is a rush. It's in his face, and it's knocked down by number 2, Jason Powders. And the Henryetta front 5 applying massive pressure to the quarterback there. And just watching a little film this week, I'm pretty sure that the quarterback's also the punter, which is always dangerous. And, not terrible position here in the middle of the field. I'm sure they'd rather try to pin Henryetta deep, but you got to keep your eye on him because they may very well try to sneak a guy out of the backfield here. Looks like now he's going to back up. Wheel run, wheel back. There is the snap. He waits a long time and gets it off. Take one hop right there. Perez fields it. He's got room on the right side. Tries to get by the first guy. Tries to cut it back, actually, but he's out of bounds at the 40. So Henrietta's defense, after giving up that big third and long pass to Spyro, sends him backwards for no gain on the next set of downs. And they receive the punt, return it out to the 40, and the Henrietta offense coming out, Jacob, for the first time.
Yeah, getting to throw that graphic up there, get to see some of our star-studded guys that can go make a play at any time. I'm excited to see, because it seems like almost every week we've got a new guy going out there and making a big play. I'm excited to see what happens on this opening drive.
1st and 10, motion. Nady Nail across the formation, spins and goes back the way he came. Little flip pass right out there to Jason Powders. Makes a cut, trying to look for space. Still good job right there by Jason. He ran circles around a couple of Spyro defenders, and his receivers out there doing a good job staying hooked up on their blocks. Jason just kind of picking his way to a gain of 6 on 1st down. Ball out to the 46-yard line for 2nd and 4. Norman in the gun. Two backs to his left and his right. Nady across the formation again, bringing it back this side. Handoff goes to number 21, Nathan White. He's hitting the backfield, and he's not going to go anywhere. So loss of, what are they going to move it back to the 42? Loss of 3 on the play. So we'll call it 3rd and 8. So most likely a little passing down right here. So we'll see if senior Brady Norman can match his counterpart tonight on a big 3rd down conversion.
And something to note, too, is this defensive line from Spyro has got some good size, and they're athletic built, kind of like our defensive line.
Oh, bad snap. We need to just get that thing picked up. And I don't know, it didn't even look like Brady was ready for the ball. And it didn't go to him. It looked like it went more to our running back, Jason. And so, mistake right there on the Henrietta side. So not an opportunity to pick up that 1st down. Luckily, we get the ball back, though, down to the 35, and Blaze Hill will come on to punt. Number 7, Connor Reed, deep for Spyro. Snap is good. Punt is nice. Spiral, number 7, fields it. Catches it in the air, trying to stretch it that way. That's 2 times he's tried to go that direction and nothing doing. Number 8, Nakona Johnson. And number was that 20, Braxton?
Yep.
Stockholm? Yeah, great job downfield covering by a couple of youngins.
Yeah, some underclassmen action, Coach.
You know, we didn't mention in the pregame, we talked about, people having nice nights last week. Nakona played really well last week.
Coach, I was a huge fan of his awareness. He knew exactly where he was on the field, and especially late, he made some really time-conservative plays to stop the clock, but it still advanced the ball, and it was really impressive to see from a sophomore.
And he wasn't feeling good all week long, so he was doing it not at 100%. So Spyro comes out 1st and 10. Ball at the 24, I believe. Handoff to the right side, nothing doing. Bunch of Henrietta jerseys right there. Taylor Hamrick, the initial tackler there. A couple of other guys. Looks like Jason Scott right there close. And Jordan Miller. And if you've got 51 and 52 around the football at the line of scrimmage, things are going to go well for Henrietta, especially on defense. We talked about number 44, Bub Miller, having a nice night last week as well. We need another one out of him tonight too. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Quarterback back to pass. Bub right in his face. He's got number 12 wide open. Goes up and makes a nice play. We kind of lost him right there. Not sure who had coverage. Actually, he kind of got into, I don't know if we were in a zone right there. He just found a little soft spot back there, and Graham with Bub right in his face. Nice ball there for a 1st down. all the way out to the 43.
And we knew that this was going to happen, Coach. We knew we were going to be able to send plenty of guys, and every time that number 2 is throwing this ball, he's going to have a helmet in his chest. But this is the kind of test that we talked about, is are our DBs going to be able to capitalize on some mistakes, and hopefully we can see that here pretty soon.
They haven't had to defend the pass, especially a vertical passing game, much this year. That pass is over the head of Reed. So 2nd and 10. So you're right, just a different looking type of offense out of Spyro that Henrietta's faced in quite some time. I mean, you know, the only team that's really thrown the ball with a lot of success on Henrietta this year has been Beggs, but most of that was stuff behind the line of scrimmage and quick bubble screens and things of that nature. Graham back to pass. He's looking deep. He's going to run it. No, he picks it up and throws it, and it is incomplete. And keep your eye on that. That is pretty good awareness by the Spyro quarterback. Looked like he was going to definitely run the football, but understood he was still behind the line of scrimmage. He had a guy open, but it just went in and out of his hands.
And that's something I've found pretty impressive, and it's kind of entertaining, is watching him go through his progressions, because it never ends. And he's still aware enough to know when he needs to step up in the pocket or run the ball, and so it's a lot of fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Trips to the right. Looks like he is going to run this one, and he's got room, and he's going to go out of bounds, and he's close to the line to gain. We'll see where they mark him. Looks like it's going to be right at the line to gain, maybe just a half yard past it. So this does look like a first down for Spyro. And that one you could tell there was no running happening. They lined up in a trips to the right, and all 3 of those receivers out there blocked down and gave him the edge. And Graham, again, who has 51 more rush yards to start the game than any other player on the team, that's definitely a part of their offense. Quick pass to number 1 is dropped. And he even took a little bit off of that one and still couldn't hang on to it. Number 1, Demarion Watson. So clock is stopped. You can see, throwing in the football a lot. Spyro. It's going to increase the possessions for them, and they're owning the time of possession right now. Ran quite a few more plays. He's going to keep that one. Taylor Hamrick's right out there, runs him out of bounds. Don't throw him into the fence, bud. And he did. And honestly, I don't think he really did. I think the dude just kind of tripped and fell, and it looked like Taylor rode him out. But
yeah, that's a tough play because momentum's going out, and you want to make sure that he gets out of bounds and doesn't have fancy footwork, because it seems like he does, to stay in bounds there. So, I mean, those kind of plays just happen, especially in the moment.
That is the personal foul, late hit out of bounds, and they'll mark off 15 more yards, and Spyro is down inside the red zone at the Henrietta 18, 1st and 10. 6:19 to go here in the first quarter. So that Henrietta defense, last time they were on this field in this area, had a big stand, and Graham goes down, and that looked weird.
It looked like he almost slipped or lost his balance.
Well, I wouldn't want anybody to get hurt, but it almost looked like he had one of those non-contact injuries to a ball carrier. You never want to see anybody get hurt. But looks like he's going to be fine. Loss of 2 on the play. 2nd and 12. Somebody's going to have to start spying him out of the backfield. We're just coming right at him hard, right in the face. Look out! Oh, my goodness. Nice play there. Nady breaking off his position. Will was right there, too. I thought Nady was going to pick that thing off.
It looked like he was, Coach. He was high pointing the ball. It seemed like his left shoulder, he kind of ran into the receiver, and it just kind of spun him in the air to where he couldn't really focus on the ball.
It's really no secret as to what Henryetta is going to try to do to slow Graham down, and that's just bring the kitchen sink and the entire house at him nearly every play, as you see. Here they come again. Pocket collapses. He does a good dropped by number 20. We had him wrapped up. 55, Blaze Hill, had him wrapped up for a sack, and Graham, big, strong kid, was able to throw the football to an open back. Wouldn't have been much of a gain, but it's no gain on the drop. So 4th and 12. So big play coming up here early for both teams. Henryetta got to be aware of not only his arm, but him trying to run the football. That's how they got the first down earlier. Looks like he's looking to pass. Ball is up, and it is overthrown, and it is incomplete. And the ball will turn over on down. So good job by the Henryetta defense after that first down run and penalty tacked on. And so Henryetta will take over on offense. And, Jacob, we need a long drive right here where we control the football for a little bit.
Yeah, I'd love to take some time off the clock here because, of course, with Spyro, as much as they're throwing the ball, that's stopping the clock a lot. Luckily, we've gotten a couple of sacks. But one thing I want to brag about on this Spyro quarterback is he's not forcing the ball. When he's trying to create plays when the play is blowing up, and he's not forcing it, which is really impressive as a high school quarterback.
Handoff up the middle. Jason Powders breaks out of it. Good job by Jason. Nice field vision there. Tough to bring down. Looked like he was going to do his little patented Jason move and cut it back across the field the opposite side. And I was looking for him to come out of the pile, and I looked up, and he was coming right at us at the press box. So nice gain on the play. Another nice first down pickup from number 2. And he picks up 8. 2nd and 2. So this is kind of where the last drive got stalled on our second down. We had a loss. Brady's going to flip one to Bub. Nice job coming back and catching that football. Good enough for a first down. Still carrying, guys. Look out. Big Bub Miller still going all the way down to the 45. And the Henryetta crowd is digging that effort. And that wasn't an easy catch, Jacob, for Bub, kind of down below. And he did a good job. You know, last week he dropped a touchdown pass right there where we were at Antlers, because he kind of just was trying to score before he caught it, but did a great job of looking it in there.
And, man, like we say all the time, that's a lot of muscle moving really fast. And he's a hard guy to bring down. And he wants to run you over. And so, man, he's a lot of fun to watch when he's got the ball.
First H-Town first down. Ball out to the 46-yard line. Brady in the gun, hands off to number 21, Tater. Good job. Nice hole. Break. Oh, almost threw that arm tackle. Out to the 50. We'll see what that is all about. Look like a little extracurricular. I don't know if they're going to get an offsetting.
I don't really know. If
Dead ball. Tater was kind of jawing at him just a little bit, but I think he drew a penalty. He didn't draw a penalty. He drew a Spyro penalty on his retaliation. So we'll take it. We talked about the penalty department getting much better for Henryetta. You know, we're not going to really place too much blame on Taylor on the ball on the one out of bounds a while ago, because I think the kid just fell down and it looked a lot worse than it was. But Henryetta in business into Spyro territory at the 35. 1st and 10. Brady, fake, throws to Gavin. We scored on this play last year. He cuts it up the middle. Hang on to the football, bud. There you go. That's the play that Gavin scored on in the first quarter last year. Spyro doing a much better job of having guys in the middle of the field to keep it from scoring, but it did pick up a big chunk. Another 1st and 10 for H-Town. Ball down to the 22. And I like the little play action, little boot pass there on the screen to Gavin on 1st and 10. We'll see what we do right here. And off to Jason. He's got running room. Nice hole over there. Guy hanging on to him. Jason just a couple steps from getting away from him. And he kind of goes down late there, and no flags on the play. That was one of those that looked a lot worse than it was, and I'm surprised he didn't draw a flag like Taylor did. But pickup of 6 on the play, so Jason with a few nice runs here in this drive. Down to the 16. 2nd and 4. 2:27 and counting here in the first quarter. Flags on the play. That's going to be a false start. So there's one of those plays out of one of those formations that, man, we are moving too early a lot, aren't we?
Yeah, you get into all the motions and all that. It's kind of hard to be in the right spot or realize, if you're sometimes it's even just balance. If you're not on your toes the right way and have to step and recorrect or get ready, those can be in effect as well.
So that'll back it up. 2nd and 9. It's going to be 4 down territory, so that's not as big a deal. Pass to Will, just out of the outstretched arms. He got a hand on it, which was good because, number 1, the cornerback was right there behind him. So 3rd and 9 coming up. Clock stop. Once again, deep into Spyro territory at the 21. This is going to be 4 down territory, so Henryetta doesn't have to pick it up right here. We just need to cut some off of it and make it a little more manageable in 4th down. Snap to Brady. Handoff up the middle. Is that Tater?
I'm not sure.
Tater or Jason? Yep, 21. Nice carry. He picks up 4 or 5 on the play, so that's going to bring up, looks like maybe a 4th and 3. Nope, 4th and 4. 4th and 5. Keep moving the ball around on us.
I'll tell you what, Coach, I've enjoyed watching Tater run the ball. At the beginning of the year, Jason, pretty much every time he was touching the ball, he was taking it to the house, so that we didn't really get the opportunity to watch Tater run the ball much. But when he was, it was usually for a 20-yard gain or
a score.
Yeah, or a score.
Yeah. So 4th and 5. Spyro's already failed on a situation like this earlier. Let's see if Henryetta can convert. Brady's going to roll out, looking, fires, caught by Gavin, and I don't know if it's going to be enough.
It looks like it's going to be enough.
The guy over here looks like it. Oh, he calls it a 1st down. 1st down, H-Town. Move the chains. Let's go. I was trying to watch the side judge on the Spyro side, and he was on the wrong side of the stick, but he didn't have the spot. He was just kind of peeking and looking. So big 1st down right there. That looked like the play we've had the 2-point conversions on. So nice play call there. Henryetta looking to try to punch it in here in the first quarter to take an early lead over Spyro. 1st and 10. Hand off to Jason. He bounces it outside, then cuts it back up the middle. And he is slung down after a pickup of 5 or 6. No, he's on the other side. You never know who's going to walk into the booth up here with us. So pickup of another good 1st down run by Jason Powders. That's like his 3rd 8-yard gain on 1st down.
And he's definitely ran the ball a little bit more decisive, but that's just because he's making some great cuts.
And pass to Will. He's got it, and he's in for an H-Town touchdown. Nice throw there by Brady, catching Will in stride at the 5-yard line. And Will cruises in, and your Knights strike first with 12 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So good job by the Henryetta defense holding when they were up against the wall back here deep in their own territory. And then the Knight offense did just what we said, Jacob. They took almost 6 minutes off the clock and drive down and score. Looking for a Blaze Hill extra point right here to make it 7-0. Kick is no good. So 6-0 is your score. 12 seconds to go in the first quarter. And when we get a chance to take a break, we're going to do it. So let's go. Unless you're watching a replay there. You want to go to Rustlers? Yeah. All right. You're watching Night Vision TV, H-Town Football. We'll be right back.
Rustlers Barbecue is a proud supporter of Henryetta Knights Athletics. Did you know that America's best barbecue is located right here in Henryetta? Rustlers Barbecue is open Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. To place your order for pickup, call 918-650-9800. Rustlers Barbecue at 806 East Industrial Road. Rustlers Barbecue. Rustled right up just for you.
Thank you to Rustlers Barbecue, Henryetta Ford, Shipman Consulting, River Spirit Casino, all 4 of our sponsors who you have seen commercials from. We're going to keep trying to run those off. We've got about 9 or 10 of them. We appreciate all the support from not just our local businesses, but even ones not so local, helping Night Vision TV happen for all of you guys home watching. Blaze kicks it right up the middle, sending number 7. Oh, he mishandles it. Going to try to get it picked up. And I'm going to tell you what, we've talked about it all year long, Jacob. The Henryetta kick coverage team struggled early on, but it almost looks like Coach McGill has decided those kids are playing at a much, much better level, and we're kicking it right up the middle, and we've got Henryetta kids getting to the football quick.
And for our viewers at home that watched that tackle, I mean, he got stuck hard, not once but twice, by 2 different black and gold helmets. So I'm impressed to see the improvement by our special teams.
Looked like Israel Sanford, number 14, and Joseph Cummings, number 26. They were both there. I'm not sure if they were the first 2 to hit him, but there was about 4 jerseys there, but I didn't pick the other 2 up. So 6 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10. Ball at the 15-yard line. Handoff up the middle, and there's 52, Jordan Miller. We talked about Jordan Miller last week. First time he had double-digit tackles, and he's got 2 or 3 in the first quarter. And the Spyro run game is having 0 success right now. And that is the end of the first quarter. You're watching H-Town Football, who's up 6-0 over Spyro. We'll be right back after a word from Principal Design.
Principal Design is your school bond and storm shelter expert. As a full-service architecture firm, they specialize in K-12 education and county municipal facilities. From long-range master plans to safety and security, you can expect from your architect at Principal Design, or by calling them at 405-615-3454. That's 405-615-3454 for Principal Design.
Night Vision TV would like to extend their sincerest appreciation to Love's Travel Stops for their generous donation to Henryetta Public Schools.
And we are back. Thank you to Principal Design and Love's Travel Stops. Proud supporters of Night Vision TV. So after a 2-yard loss, we talked about Henryetta being in 2nd and 2 nearly every time. Spyro's been in 2nd and 12. Quarterback snap. Quick pass to number 7, in and out of the hands. And Jacob, I'm seeing a recurring theme here. I do not know if the ball's being thrown too hard or he's got a really quick release. It's almost like the receivers can't pick the football up until it's right on him. And he's kind of throwing it sidearm a little bit too.
Yeah, a little bit, but like we talked about in the pregame, he's throwing the ball where it needs to be, not just to the receiver. So it takes a certain amount of skill as well for these receivers to make an adjustment to the ball as well instead of it being thrown to them. So I'm sure that's a hard thing to manage as well.
3rd and 12, a little bit deeper pass there, overthrown, and it looks like Spyro's trying to get the ball to number 7, Connor Reed. That's about his 4th or 5th target.
And with these tip passes, too, our guys are just about a yard to 2 yards away from getting a hand on it. It's only a matter of time before, our athletic DBs can get this ball on open field and go make a play.
And watching the quarterback warm up a little bit, I saw him kind of sail a few balls, and when you're throwing it to a guy that's 5'5", you can't do that. It looks like they're going to punt. Quarterback punts it away, takes a Henryetta bounce back to the 47-yard line. So Henryetta on the plus side of the 50 to start this drive. So it'd be nice for Henryetta to go right down, control the clock, and score again. And we know that means absolutely nothing, especially the last time we played here against Valiant. Out to an early lead, and then they cut into it, and then Henryetta went up 3 scores to start the 3rd quarter. And we all know, you saw in the pregame hype video, it got hype at the end in a 42-41 win, which put Henryetta in position for tonight's game to lock up the district runner-up if they can win. Handoff, Jason Powders up the middle. Here comes another nice first down run. Still running. No, that's Will Perez, actually. That was an interesting little formation and misdirection there. So pickup of 5 on the play. Gets the ball down to the 42. 2nd down. Will and Jason in the backfield. Oh, handoff to Jason. He's got room. Cuts it back. Breaks a tackle. Look out. Spins it through the safety's legs there down to the 30. Uh-oh. First down. Jason was flopping around like a fish in the bottom of a boat right there. I don't know. He almost acted like somebody stepped in the middle of his back.
I think it was a little bit of a flop. I think somebody accidentally, their foot bumped into him, and he kind of, I don't know. We might need to get him in the drama program after something like that.
Well, maybe. I'm gonna have to correct you. It wasn't a flop. It was about 6 flops. But first down for Henryetta, ball almost to the 30. Looks like a delay of game. Man, that was a quick 25 seconds. I mean, we pick up the first down, and I don't know if, Jason coming off right there kind of threw us behind schedule a little bit, getting the play in or getting another running back on the field. But either way, it's a 5-yard penalty. So Henryetta behind the chains here on first down, ball at the 36. Little swing pass out to Jason's got room. Nice block in there by Will. Still got more room. Cuts it back up. Look out, Jason Powders! 36-yard touchdown catch from Brady Norman. And that wild horse got out of the pen quick tonight, Jacob. Jason Powders. Nice move there right in the middle to cut it back up. And he was off to the races. Guys, I don't know if you can feel the press box swaying back and forth from people clapping. Henrietta's going to line up for the 2-point conversion to try to get this out to 14. This is kind of what we've been seeing a little bit here as of late. If we miss a kick, we go for 2. So we'll see what Henryetta looks like. We're going to go straight into Wildcat. First time we've shown it tonight, but we've had success all year long. Will, big hole on the right side, and he is almost in untouched. So Henryetta gets that point back, increases their lead 14-0 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. And the Knights are controlling the line of scrimmage, Jacob, and they're playing really, really well at this very moment in time.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of defensive pressure. Our blocking's been really well. Our run game has had the opportunity to go and just run downhill, and that's what I love. I mean, our running back, our two-headed dragon, Tater, when he's got the ball, he's shifty, but he's explosive when he makes cuts. And Jason, when he runs downhill, it's pretty close to impossible to bring him down.
I'll give credit also to our senior quarterback. We've talked a lot about Spyro's guy. We haven't talked much about our guy, who's a really talented quarterback in his own right. And Brady, although he hasn't really thrown it downfield any, he's doing a nice job. You know, those little quick passes that he's throwing with the touch and the finesse to where our receivers can handle them, whereas, as we talked about, Spiro's struggling in that department. But Brady doing a good job of throwing the ball in a space where his receivers or his backs out of the backfield can catch him on the run, in stride, and that play right there was a perfect example of how Jason got going from jump and didn't stop until the end zone. Blaze Hill's kick is away. Different guy running it back here, number 1. He does get it upfield. I'll bet you those guys have been chewed out for running east and west on the kickoff return. A little more north and south return there and gets the ball. Nice best return of the night so far for Spyro. They've done it 3 times.
I'm just looking at scores, Coach. Morris and Vian right now at Vian in the second quarter, 44-0.
Wow. I thought you were going to say something crazy like Morris leads at 21-0.
Holdenville and Davis right now. That's a good game. It's 6-0 in the second quarter.
Who's leading?
Holdenville.
That is pretty much to decide their district title. Both of them undefeated. Here we go. 1st and 10. Quarterback rolling. And that is intentional grounding. And I'm going to tell you what. Henrietta's front 3 or 4 have officially pinned their ears straight back, and they are bum rushing to the quarterback.
That's kind of the staple with this McGill defense is they're going to send so many guys that they and still have coverage.
Yeah.
Not everybody, not all 11 guys, but at least 5 to 7 guys almost every play, and it's hard to stop all of them.
Well, you can tell Coach McGill has decided that their quarterback's got a nice arm, but we're going to make him throw under pressure and under duress. And he has been a bunch, and that is a huge loss on that. Not only a loss of down, but a huge loss of yardage. Quick hitter to the outside. Nice catch there, but actually he needed to drop that because they're going to lose 2 more on trying to get a little wide receiver screen out there. And I can see a little bit of frustration coming out on the Spyro side. So Henryetta here, be interesting to see if they bring the house again or if they kind of spy and play straight up defense against the Bulldogs right here. They don't bring as many. A lot of guys back in coverage. And 80 stride for stride with his guy down the sideline. So good job on the coverage. And instead of bringing those linebackers, Coach McGill did just what I was talking about. Instead of coming at him, just made sure they had multiple guys ready to make a tackle. And 4th and forever coming up for Spyro.
Another notable game, Coach. Our opponent from last week playing our opponent for next week. Antlers is up 8-7 right now, 4 minutes away from halftime against Atoka. So that's a good game.
So the quarterback, Graham, back to punt. At least we think he is. He's going to kind of look to the right, kicks it away. Backward spiral. Bounces all at what are you doing, Will?
Everybody in the stadium went, no.
It does roll across the 50. So Henryetta will have to start in their own territory by a yard. All the momentum right now with the black and gold. And this looks like a football team that understands what's at stake tonight. But as we get closer and closer to playoff time, fast starts are important, but then you got to settle in and keep executing. We've seen Henryetta do this a few times and then get a little sloppy, and there's a mistake out there on the edge. False start. And when you're facing somebody that throws the ball as well, Spyro, you know, a 2-touchdown game is not enough.
Absolutely not.
So interesting to see what the Henryetta offense does here. Success both through the air and on the ground. They keep it on the ground, hand off to Jason, and he maybe picks up one. So Spyro kind of crashing down the line of scrimmage there, doing a good job of closing up if there was a hole at all. He closed it up quick. Henrietta's got a lineman, number 54, Tucker McManus, a little slow to get up. He'll limp back to the huddle. Looks like he's going to stay out there and keep fighting it up. So no gain on the play. 2nd and 15. Important to take care of the football here. Don't flip the momentum back into Spyro's favor. Brady, play action, pass to Gavin. Nice catch right there. Gavin is coming up big in the passing receiving game. Almost down to the 40. And I think that's going to be good for an H-Town first down. Hope I didn't say it too fast. Let's see what the initial look is. Looks like the line to gain is right short. Yes. I was going to say, it looked like the line to gain was on the other side of the 41, and it is. So Brady with a nice layered drop-in pass there to Gav. Gav kind of went up and high-pointed it. So 1st and 10. Quick pass to Will in space. Looking to make a first guy miss, and he does. Look out. Afterburners. Look out. Will Perez trying to get by the safety, and he's ripped out of bounds at the 2. And when you see number 3's feet moving fast, he's moving the other direction. Somebody hit the NOS button on him right there down the sideline, and if it wasn't for the angle that the safety had, that was going to be 6 for number 3. So 1st and goal. Ball at the 4, I believe. No, 3-yard line. Henryetta getting in a big package right there. Shifting to the left. Jason to the right. We're going to run it hard right here on the left tackle. Hand off to Jason Powders, and he's hit just past the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him maybe 1 on the play. Well, looks like it's still spotted at the 3 or just inside the 3, so 2nd and goal. Spyro doing a good job right there. Not going to lay down. They're playing for a playoff spot tonight.
Need to be running this clock here. There it goes.
In that bunch formation again. Hand off to Jason. Cuts it. Looking. Touchdown, Henryetta. Jason Powders. 3-yard touchdown. Sideline cam brought to you by Muskogee Nation, a River Spirit casino, operated by Mr. Mavericks Randleman right down there. Field view. Were we in sideline when he scored?
Yep.
Cool. Probably working a little bit away from Mav, so you probably didn't see it too much unless you saw him cross the goal line. We're going to go for 2 right here. Little drag route there by Bub. Little push off. And it is no good. Brady need to throw that thing to the corner a little bit more, but that's okay. 20-0. The Knights lead it. 7:30. We'll stay right here trying to get Mav in position there to pick up some of that sideline vibe we got going on down there. So after a first drive, the Henryetta offense, the first time they touched it tonight, went 3 and out. And their last 3 drives have ended up in H-Town touchdowns. And they lead it 20-0. And a nice, healthy blend of passing and running, honestly, here in the first half. We talked about the balance they showed at Antlers last week. 185 on the ground, 183 through the air.
And knock on wood, Coach, but we didn't really for the whole game at Antlers, and we haven't for this game as well. I mean, there haven't been a lot of mistakes. I mean, it's been pretty sound.
Definitely knock on wood there. Kick by Blaze up the middle. That's one of the reasons why we're kicking it up the middle, because they don't have anybody set up there. Number one, nice return. Got past the first 2 guys down the field. Gets it out to the 30. But we'll take the 30-yard line because when we kick it out of bounds, it's automatically at the 35. So definite change in strategy there in the kick game for the Knights. So far, it's worked in our favor. And so you almost got to think this is a big series right here for the Spyro offense. If they don't get anything going and Henryetta holds and scores again, you got to wonder. And we're going to find out how much fight Spyro's got in them, not just in this drive, but if things don't go well. Henryetta will get the ball to start the third quarter, so that Henryetta defense looking for a shutout, but just need to keep playing strong. Quarterback run game to the left side, breaks it, cuts it back, cuts it again. Not sure why he did that. He had plenty of room to come to our sideline.
And to brag on our defense more, I mean, this Spyro offense has been able to create some plays. It's not like they struggle to score the ball. I mean, they've had some games. I think Morris, they had like a decent amount of points on the scoreboard, but every single huge play that they've had that could be a momentum turner, Henrietta's defense has responded with a couple big stops.
Ball out to the 34, pickup of 3 on the play, 2nd and 7. Gaxiola in the backfield. Taylor Hamrick swallows up number 20. Pass was complete, but that little screen right there, but 51 was not fooled. And Seth's got the fat head up, and I don't know if there's anything on the other side, but he's showing the fat head to everybody in the bleachers and not the field. Mr. Seth Hamrick, see, he's making fun of himself now, which that guy can do. He's one of the best at it. Quarterback pass, ball's up, tipped there. Nice job. Looked like Tater tipped it. So 4th down quickly. Wow. And there's no question what Spyro wants to do nearly every play. First down run, you could just tell they're trying to run the football to keep Henryetta from coming so hard on every play up front. So 4th down in their own territory, and 9 we'll call it. And this doesn't look like a punt formation. Spyro's pretty much going to try to draw Henryetta off, and they call timeout. And we're going to take one with them so we can get some more of our sponsors' time in. We are going to hear from Creek Nation Casino Holdenville. We'll be right back. You're watching Night Vision TV.
Every month brings exciting new ways to win at Creek Nation Casino Holdenville. To find out this month's big giveaways, check out our website for all the details. Our monthly promotions include hundreds of thousands in cash and prizes, car and trip giveaways, rewards play, and more. Plus, don't forget, play with your Connect card and earn points at any of our properties to receive even more special perks. Don't miss out on all the ways you can win at Creek Nation Casino Holdenville.
And we are back to Cameron Field, 4th down. And Spyro right back out in the same formation they were before they called timeout. So down 3 scores here with 6 minutes to go. Watch the ball, guys. They're going to probably try to make it a little bit more. Nope, they're going to pass it. He's going to throw it deep. Gavin right there, step for step, and it is, wow, nice catch by number 12. And number 12 is going to get a taunting penalty. He got up and he pointed to Gavin, and you can't point at him.
And that's you've talked about it as you just want him to walk away, and that was a great job by Gavin, because what did he do there? He didn't talk back. He just walked away. I mean, surely he said something back, but you couldn't tell from his body language as much. He just kind of walked back, and
and the play call was just kind of an idea of where Spyro and their temperature is on the sideline. They know that they cannot keep turning the ball over on downs to Henryetta or punting it away. So big opportunity and chance there to go down the field. And Gavin had pretty good coverage. He didn't really, maybe a half a step the receiver had on him, but that ball just kind of floated right over Gavin's hands and right into his receiver, number 12, Jaden Berry. It is a first down, but the penalty will back them up. Still in Henryetta territory. 1st and 10, Spyro. Henryetta, less pressure. Quarterback steps up. He's going to run it this time. Gaxiola and Jason Powders converge on him, not before he picks up 5 on the play. So Spyro doing a good job right there of really clearing out all of the receivers and then opening up the middle of the field and allowing their quarterback to tuck it and run. Good job by Jason breaking off his guy and coming up and making the stop, because it looked like he had more room than just a 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5, 4:58 and counting in the second quarter. He's going to design quarterback draw, cuts it back, out close to the line to gain. Looks like he's going to probably get it. So Spyro also just trying to keep their defense off the field. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Clock running, 4:30 here in the half. Henryetta has really controlled the football game, but as we said before, Spyro has a somewhat dangerous offense with a big, strong-arm quarterback in the backfield. He's doing it with his legs this drive. He's going to try to do it again. And he goes nowhere. 44, Bub Miller. We talked about Bub last week. His motor was running. Top speed. And not only is he there to make the stop, playing with passion, like so many of these seniors are. And Jacob, that's another thing. Henrietta's going to play in Week 11. But these guys got to be kind of a little bit thinking about how, their high school football careers are kind of winding down.
Yeah, and if they can add one more game at Cameron Field, that's just the icing on the cake.
Quarterback back to pass. He's got a guy wide open. Look out. Nice job. Tater. Nathan White. 40 was wide open. It looked like no one within 10 yards, but Tater did a good job of getting over there. Almost picked the thing off.
And as we go back and look at this, Coach, watch how he waits to break on this ball. He creates separation here, but as you see it, and we'll pause it for a second, when they throw the ball, he's still taking this step back, and look at how much space there is between Tater and the receiver.
8 yards.
And the break on that ball, that is impressive.
Reminds me of the break he made on the guy from Valiant on the 4th down. Pass to number 40 that time, dropped right over the Henryetta defense, and it's caught for a big gain down inside the 10. And I can see Tater slapping himself on the chest saying that's his fault. I don't know. He didn't look like he was anywhere near that guy.
Can't make every play.
So Spyro putting together a nice little drive here, trying to get on the scoreboard here in the first half. They're doing what we talked about. They're kind of standing up and fighting here a little bit. Not going to go down easy. Graham back to pass. Quick pass. Caught. but he's hit quickly by Gavin Williams and Nathan White. So you can see Graham, the quarterback, starting to take a little bit off of it to allow those receivers a chance to handle the football. But it was a pickup of 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. Clock down to 2:35. Ball is at the 10.
And this just makes it so much harder as the field starts to get shorter for this Spyro offense to throw the ball.
Pass to number 7, cut back. He's swallowed up there by number 51, I believe. Yep. Taylor Hamrick. And that is a first down, so that'll set up 1st and goal for Spyro. So Spyro making some adjustments in that short passing game. And Henryetta has been a little bit more laid back in terms of bringing pressure. So you almost got to think right here with the ball at the 4-yard line, do we just sell out and come at them full steam and try to make something happen? And quarterback picks his way up the middle. He's going to get down close to the goal line. Looked like he was hit at the line of scrimmage, but kept his feet moving and got right down there close to the end zone. So pickup of 3 on the play, 2nd and goal. Looks like the ball at the 2. 1:25 to go.
We've seen defensive stands like this before, Coach.
Good job of probably a smart move of a timeout there by Coach McGill to let his defense kind of take a breather and regroup here. And this is the drive, that Spyro was really looking for, not only to try to have a chance to score, but keep Henryetta from touching the ball again in the first half.
That's one thing and I meant to harp on this earlier, is come playoff time, and we talked about it at the beginning of the season, is this team was making explosive plays, but we were like, it's going to slow down at the end of the season as defenses adjust and watch film. We knew it was going to happen, and we talked about it, that they are going to have to be able to create long, sustained drives and not just focus on, big plays that they're getting. Not going to say by luck, but that don't come as often. So it's a huge thing to have in their arsenal come playoff time to go along with their just incredible defense.
Yep. So out of the timeout, plenty of time on the clock for Spyro, setting at 2nd and goal at the 2. Henryetta needs a big play right here, maybe even a turnover. And the quarterback's going to walk in and runs out of his shoe. So touchdown, Spyro.
Seemed like that was a topic of conversation in the timeout. I was looking pre-snap at McGill there, and he was pretty upset. Maybe somebody should have been over there more in a spy to kind of keep an eye on the QB there.
And that's the first time, he fakes the handoff and runs it off tackle instead of up the middle. So Henrietta's defense kind of pinching down, trying to stop the up the middle run. And we just, Two's a good athlete.
Yeah.
He did a good job of seeing where he needed to be, and now he's going to, looks like he's getting ready to go deep snap. Isn't that him right there getting ready to snap the football?
Is. Yeah, I talked a little bit off air about it, is that, it's almost an art form, just the ability that he has to go through his progressions and make plays, but not force it at the same time. And it's not easy to do.
Snap is high, held down, and the kick is up and good. And so Spyro scores with 1:17 left to go. Henryetta will get the ball back. Not much time, but see if we can get that quick strike offense going to get that touchdown back before we head in for the half. Let's go now to Muskogee Nation Reintegration, one of our Night Vision TV sponsors. We will be right back.
The Muskogee Creek Nation Reintegration, located in Henryetta, Oklahoma, offers adult reentry and at-risk youth services, as well as fiber optic technician training. The mission of reintegration is to enhance public safety through cultural program initiatives, to provide justice involving tribal citizens and at-risk youth with education, and employment opportunities. Please contact our office at 918-549-2620 for more information. Mado.
Welcome back. 1:17 to go here in the first half. Week 9. Your Henryetta Knights up over Spyro. And I don't really, you think back to that drive, 4th and 14, and Spyro throws one. Quarterback does a good job of threading the needle right over Gavin's shoulder, and big pickup right there, and ended up giving them a chance to score. Kick in the air, received by Nakona. He's going to come toward the home bleachers. It needs one block. There's a flag on the other side. Nakona still moving. Look at him down the sideline. He's going to be upset when he turns and sees the flag way over there on the other side.
You see number 17 there, Landon Honeycutt-Jones, almost, I don't want to say it's on him, but he almost has like a walk of shame on the way back.
It's just crazy. If you see a big return in the punt or the kickoff game, it feels like 7 out of 10 times there's going to be a penalty, doesn't it?
Yeah, it almost comes with it, I want to say. It's hard in a situation like that when it comes to kickoff returns, but I feel like it happens when you got guys running as fast as they are and trying to stop them. I feel like it happens every play. But if they're getting tackled at the 20-yard line anyways.
So the penalty not only negates a big return by the sophomore, but it even backs us up from where he caught the football. So Henryetta's going to have to go 70 yards in 1:06. And they're going to get 5 free ones right here with no time coming off the clock on an offsides penalty. So 1st and 5. And the 1st and 5 sets you up here in a great spot to maybe do a little play action and try to go deep quick. Maybe try to hit Nady on a flag route here. Nope, we're going to try to get it to Jason in space. I thought he fumbled it, but Jason had eyes looking north without ball in hand.
He remembers the last time they ran that play when he took it, 40 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah. So clock stops. Nobody really hurt there, especially after the 5-yard offside penalty. So 2nd and 5. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to call it right now. We're going to fake that to the back, and Nady or Gavin One's going to release up the field on that pump fake. And we're going to have a chance for a big play. And maybe right here.
It's going to be Gavin going deep. Oh, it's not. It is Gavin going deep.
Brady, nice job, senior quarterback right there, understanding that he just need to get rid of the ball. And I don't know if you saw it on the other side. Nakona was running a go route, and as soon as he crossed his guy's face, he had his arm up in the air like, give me the football. And he ran right by his guy, but Brady was rolling out to the left. It was an impossible throw. But hopefully our coaches up in the booth saw that number 80 over there probably can't cover number 8. So 3rd and 5.
I like that you called out that play call. We ran that play a lot last year with Hunter and Nathan on that outside, and we had that little 5-and-out route and a go route, and it was just pump fake to that out route, and then you'd have a receiver because that cornerback or safety would bite down, and you'd have a receiver wide open 20 yards down the field.
I will say one observation that I have just watching our guys come into the huddle during timeouts and during stoppage of play. I see a lot of helmets or guys with their eyes on their coach.
Yes.
There's not a lot of stuff going on behind the huddle. If you just look right there, and I don't know where Mav's at, probably too late to go to him, but dudes are engaged into what's happening in the huddle and what's being talked about in terms of strategy moving forward.
That's one thing that Coach McGill does a really good job of is these guys are locked in always. It's like a visual representation of how Coach McGill is, just locked in, ready for the snap. I mean, especially the last couple games, not a lot of emotion, just ready to go make a play.
Yeah. So 3rd and 5, 54 seconds to go. Need just a first down right now. And that's what we call to try to get it. But look out, he may have more. Jason trying to get to the edge. Breaks a tackle, looking for a cutback. There it goes. Got a bunch of Spyro guys coming down, doing a good job of not giving up on the play. Jason's showing nice speed toward the outside there, trying to get around the edge. He did, and then cut it back up. But first down, Henryetta. Clock running, 42 seconds to go. Ball to 49. Brady back to pass. Pressure. There's going to be a holding on the edge there. Number 64 for Spyro. Tyson Covey did the old arms in the air. Somebody's grabbing my jersey, sir. And it drew the flag out of the back judge. So with 30 seconds left, yes, 10 yards is a big situation there for first down situation. But if we're going to score, we're going to need a big chunk play regardless of where the football's spotted when we snap it. It's going to be spotted at the 39, first and long.
And two, also what might happen here is you might see, try to have an explosive play here first, maybe even second down, but maybe try to run this ball here after that. Ooh,
Screen
nice
to Jason. He's got room. Nice block in there, Tucker McManus. He's got guys out in front. Jason turning it on. Look out. Explosive play. Touchdown, Henryetta. Flag on the play at the 36. Great call.
I was just about to say that. I love that play call. Because first and long that Spyro's going to be sending a ton of pressure there, and man, it was the least expected play, and I love it.
Interesting, where the flag's thrown is nowhere near where the football was.
I'm going back to look at the replay, Coach. I think they're going to try and maybe call block in the back here.
Oh, yeah.
Who
is that?
Taylor Hamrick? Yeah, it's going to be Taylor Hamrick.
And he didn't need to do it.
No.
That kid was not going to make the tackle. So, mistake right there. But Henryetta on Spyro's side of the 50, but only 19 seconds remain. So Brady going to need to air one out. He's going to roll out to his right. He's got room. He does. To Nakona, and it's in and out of his hands. Nice throw on the run there by number 1, Brady Norman. Hit Nakona in the hands.
And I want to give Kona some credit. That's a tough pass. He did a great job adjusting to the ball.
Had to spin had to spin around quick.
And it's hard when you're spinning like that to try and create that bread basket and keep it closed as you're focusing on the ball and your footwork and making sure that you're not about to fall down because nobody's in front of you.
Well, and he was looking to the inside of the field, and Brady knew that he had a defender there, so he threw it kind of almost like a back shoulder situation, and Nakona just couldn't get wrapped around quick enough. 11 seconds.
It was a great ball.
He's going to go deep again. Interesting there. I don't think 80 made contact with him, but he was face guarding him. Looked like a guy in basketball got beat down the floor and is just throwing his arms up, hoping to hit the ball. So 5 seconds to go. This will be, barring a penalty, the final play. So we'll see if Henryetta just chunks it up and hopes for. We saw it last week in the NFL, didn't we?
Yeah.
Washington and Chicago.
Man, Jaden Daniels, he's an athlete. He's really evolving over there in Washington.
I'll be honest, I'm not so sure that I don't just try to get it in space to one of your guys and see if they can make a play. Brady's going to step up in the pocket. Look out. Brady going to run it. Get down, bub. Oh, he wanted to lateral that ball, which would not be a good situation. And so that is the end of the second quarter. So Henryetta leads it 20-7, and they will go into the locker room with a 2-score advantage on a nice half by the home team, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, we've made some great adjustments defensively on shutting down some really explosive plays. There was a great drive there by Spyro where they had some great balls that were thrown, and some receivers made some great plays, especially that long like 35, 40-yard pass there. So this Spyro team is not a sleeper for sure. Their records proved it. They know how to score the ball. And hopefully, I mean, our viewers at home, make sure you're texting your family members that are here at the game. We need a hype crowd come third quarter here. And
yeah, for sure. Well, we will take a break to hear from our sponsors that we haven't heard from. We will be right back. You're watching Night Vision TV here on YouTube. Let's hear from Faith Church.
Faith Church is a proud sponsor of the Henryetta Knights. Here's to a great season. And no matter what season of life you are in, Faith Church has something for you. We would like to invite you to join us in person at one of our weekly worship services. On Sundays, we have traditional service beginning at 9 a.m., followed by our contemporary service at 10:30 a.m. You can also watch us online at faithchurchnow.com. We hope to see you soon. Go Knights!
Henryetta Public Schools would like to thank Golden Pony Casino for their donation of our H-Town Proud Night bottled water sold in all of our Henryetta Night athletic concessions.
The American Exchange Bank has been the pillar of this community since 1933. This bank has a great future. This is a very well capitalized bank, and we're proud of it.
Hometown Healthcare Solution is a family-owned and operated healthcare company. We're committed to providing affordable healthcare to our hometown folks and surrounding communities. We offer standard urgent care visits as well as lab testing, x-rays, and minor procedures. We are an urgent care for all ages, and we offer primary care for adults and accept all insurances. Hometown Healthcare Solutions, located at 811 West Main right here in Henryetta, is open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 5, and Friday, 8:30 to 3. After Labor Day, during increased peak flu season, we're open on Sundays from 12 to 4. Give us a call, 918-319-5021, or just walk in and let us see how we can help you and your family. Hometown Healthcare Solutions, where our mission is to treat your family like our family.
Farm Bureau Insurance takes pride in providing the best coverage possible to our clients and neighbors. We can cover all of your insurance needs, from home, auto, farm, commercial, life, and everything in between. Stop by our Farm Bureau office at 1012 West Main Street in Henryetta, or give us a call at 918-652-3783. Living beside you, working for you. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Digital Dilemmas presents The Mirror Test. Mirror, mirror on the wall, where is the best place for my router of them all?
Not beside me.
Placing your router near a mirror can distort the Wi-Fi signal. For a consistent signal throughout your home, it's better to place your router away from mirrors and other reflective surfaces. Stay tuned for more Digital Dilemmas.
We watch Night Vision TV. We watch Night Vision TV.
We watch Night Vision TV.
I watch Night Vision TV.
Me too. We all watch Night Vision TV. Are you?
You are watching Night Vision TV, home of Henryetta Athletics, powered by Love Ford, right here in Henryetta.
Hello, Henryetta.
Brad and Brian here with Love Ford. We are proud to showcase our town on our radio show Saturday mornings on the Sports Animal.
And check out our podcast on YouTube.
Brad, who's from Henryetta?
16-time world champion Jim Shoulders.
Who else, Brad's from Henryetta?
3-time Super Bowl champion Troy Aikman.
And your favorite actress from Henryetta, Brad?
Miss Alice Ghostley.
We have great deals, great service, and the Love 15150.
That's 15 years, 150,000-mile warranty on all new Fords, gas or diesel.
And 7 years, 150,000 miles added on qualified pre-owns.
So, Brian, the best place to buy a new car is Love Ford.
Yep, right here in our town. Join us in supporting the Knights and come see us.
Hey, don't forget me and Buddy.
Never. Or visit iloveford.com.
That's L-U-V, baby!
A one-of-a-kind experience awaits you at River Spirit Casino Resort. Island-inspired vibes and beautiful river views from our luxurious resort hotel. Endless gaming excitement with 2 casinos under one roof, Margaritaville and River Spirit. And fine dining excellence at the only Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Oklahoma. So many unforgettable experiences you won't find anywhere else. Only at River Spirit Casino Resort.
Rustler's Barbecue is a proud supporter of Henryetta Knights Athletics. Did you know that America's best barbecue is located right here in Henryetta? Rustler's Barbecue is open Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. To place your order for pickup, call 918-650-9800. Rustler's Barbecue at 806 East Industrial Road. Rustler's Barbecue. Rustled right up just for you.
Principal Design is your school bond and storm shelter expert. As a full-service architecture firm, they specialize in K-12 education and county municipal facilities. From long-range master plans to safety and security, you can expect from your architect at Principal Design, or by calling them at 405-615-3454. That's 405-615-3454 for Principal Design.
Is your organization tired of tech headaches? Let Shipman Consulting handle it. From cybersecurity to managed IT services, we keep your IT running smoothly so you can focus on what matters most. Call Shipman Consulting today and experience hassle-free IT. 918-200-9543. That's Shipman Consulting. Shipman Consulting is the proud sponsor of wireless internet for Night Vision TV. Night Vision TV would like to extend their sincerest appreciation to Love's Travel Stops for their generous donation to Henryetta Public Schools. The Muskogee Creek Nation Reintegration, located in Henryetta, Oklahoma, offers adult reentry and at-risk youth services, as well as fiber optic technician training. The mission of reintegration is to enhance public safety through cultural program initiatives, to provide justice involving tribal citizens and at-risk youth with education and employment opportunities. Please contact our office at 918-549-2620 for more information. Mado.
Faith Church is a proud sponsor of the Henryetta Knights. Here's to a great season. And no matter what season of life you are in, Faith Church has something for you. We would like to invite you to join us in person at one of our weekly worship services. On Sundays, we have traditional service beginning at 9 a.m., followed by our contemporary service at 10:30 a.m. You can also watch us online at faithchurchnow.com. We hope to see you soon. Go Knights!
Henryetta Public Schools would like to thank Golden Pony Casino for their donation of our H-Town Proud Night bottled water sold in all of our Henryetta Night athletic concessions.
The American Exchange Bank has been the pillar of this community since 1933. This bank has a great future. This is a very well capitalized bank, and we're proud of it.
Hometown Healthcare Solution is a family-owned and operated healthcare company. We're committed to providing affordable health care to our hometown folks and surrounding communities. We offer standard urgent care visits as well as lab testing, x-rays, and minor procedures. We are an urgent care for all ages, and we offer primary care for adults and accept all insurances. Hometown Healthcare Solutions, located at 811 West Main right here in Henryetta, is open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 5, and Friday, 8:30 to 3. After Labor Day, during increased peak flu season, we're open on Sundays from 12 to 4. Give us a call, 918-319-5021, or just walk in and let us see how we can help you and your family. Hometown Healthcare Solutions, where our mission is to treat your family like our family.
Farm Bureau Insurance takes pride in providing the best coverage possible to our clients and neighbors. We can cover all of your insurance needs, from home, auto, farm, commercial, life, and everything in between. Stop by our Farm Bureau office at 1012 West Main Street in Henryetta, or give us a call at 918-652-3783. Living beside you, working for you. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Digital Dilemmas presents
The Coffee Connection. Did you hear about my neighbor Gladys?
What about her?
She got one of them new Wi-Fi routers. You know them fancy ones? Now my signal's weak. Can you believe it?
You don't say.
If your Wi-Fi seems slow, or you're experiencing signal disruptions, your neighbor's router could be causing interference. Contact your service provider to discuss changing the settings on your router or upgrading to a new one. Stay tuned for more Digital Dilemmas.
We watch Night Vision TV. We watch Night Vision TV.
We watch Night Vision TV.
I watch Night Vision TV.
Me too. We all watch Night Vision TV. Are you?
You are watching Night Vision TV, home of Henryetta Athletics, powered by Love Ford, right here in Henryetta.
Hello, Henryetta.
Brad and Brian here with Love Ford. We are proud to showcase our town on our radio show Saturday mornings on the Sports Animal.
And check out our podcast on YouTube.
Brad, who's from Henryetta?
16-time world champion Jim Shoulders.
Who else, Brad's from Henryetta?
3-time Super Bowl champion Troy Aikman.
And your favorite actress from Henryetta, Brad?
Miss Alice Ghostley.
We have great deals, great service, and the Love 15 150.
That's 15 years, 150,000-mile warranty on all new Fords, gas or diesel.
And 7 years, 150,000 miles added on qualified pre-owns.
So, Brian, the best place to buy a new car is Love Ford.
Yep, right here in our town. Join us in supporting the Knights and come see us.
Hey, don't forget me and Buddy.
Never. Or visit iloveford.com.
That's L-U-V, baby!
A one-of-a-kind experience awaits you at River Spirit Casino Resort. Island-inspired vibes and beautiful river views from our luxurious resort hotel. Endless gaming excitement with 2 casinos under one roof, Margaritaville and River Spirit. And fine dining excellence at the only Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Oklahoma. So many unforgettable experiences you won't find anywhere else. Only at River Spirit Casino Resort.
Rustler's Barbecue is a proud supporter of Henryetta Knights Athletics. Did you know that America's best barbecue is located right here in Henryetta? Rustler's Barbecue is open Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. To place your order for pickup, call 918-650-9800. Rustler's Barbecue at 806 East Industrial Road. Rustler's Barbecue. Rustled right up just for you.
Principal Design is your school bond and storm shelter expert. As a full-service architecture firm, they specialize in K-12 education and county municipal facilities. From long-range master plans to safety and security, you can expect from your architect at Principal Design, or by calling them at 405-615-3454. That's 405-615-3454 for Principal Design.
Is your organization tired of tech headaches? Let Shipman Consulting handle it. From cybersecurity to managed IT services, we keep your IT running smoothly so you can focus on what matters most. Call Shipman Consulting today and experience hassle-free IT. 918-200-9543. That's Shipman Consulting. Shipman Consulting is the proud sponsor of wireless internet for Night Vision TV. Night Vision TV would like to extend their sincerest appreciation to Love's Travel Stops for their generous donation to Henryetta Public Schools.
Every month brings exciting new ways to win at Creek Nation Casino Holdenville. To find out this month's big giveaways, check out our website for all the details. Our monthly promotions include hundreds of thousands in cash and prizes, car and trip giveaways, rewards play, and more. Plus, don't forget, play with your Connect card and earn points at any of our properties to receive even more special perks. Don't miss out on all the ways you can win.
The Muskogee Creek Nation Reintegration, located in Henryetta, Oklahoma, offers adult reentry and at-risk youth services, as well as fiber optic technician training. The mission of reintegration is to enhance public safety through cultural program initiatives, to provide justice involving tribal citizens and at-risk youth with education and employment opportunities. Please contact our office at 918-549-2620 for more information. Mado.
Faith Church is a proud sponsor of the Henryetta Knights. Here's to a great season. And no matter what season of life you are in, Faith Church has something for you. We would like to invite you to join us in person at one of our weekly worship services. On Sundays, we have traditional service beginning at 9 a.m., followed by our contemporary service at 10:30 a.m. You can also watch us online at faithchurchnow.com. We hope to see you soon. Go Knights!
Henryetta Public Schools would like to thank Golden Pony Casino for their donation of our H-Town Proud Night bottled water sold in all of our Henryetta Night athletic concessions.
The American Exchange Bank has been the pillar of this community since 1933. This bank has a great future. This is a very well capitalized bank, and we're proud of it.
Hometown Healthcare Solution is a family-owned and operated healthcare company. We're committed to providing affordable healthcare to our hometown folks and surrounding communities. We offer standard urgent care visits as well as lab testing, x-rays, and minor procedures. We are an urgent care for all ages, and we offer primary care for adults and accept all insurances. Hometown Healthcare Solutions, located at 811 West Main right here in Henryetta, is open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 5, and Friday, 8:30 to 3. After Labor Day, during increased peak flu season, we're open on Sundays from 12 to 4. Give us a call, 918-319-5021, or just walk in and let us see how we can help you and your family. Hometown Healthcare Solutions, where our mission is to treat your family like our family.
And welcome back. We are finishing up halftime here. We had a bunch of mini cheer participants on the field doing a cheer and a dance at halftime, and then we met all of our Little League football players and cheerleaders. So big night for the big kids and the little kids here at Cameron Field. And the biggest part of tonight is the football game, which is a big game as far as Henrietta's playoff path, more or less. And if we can win the football game, I feel like probably we'll clinch the runner-up spot. The only thing that could make that go the other direction is if Valiant was to upset Vian next week in Week 10. But just looking at some scores across 2A right now. Antlers has opened it up over Atoka 24-7 in the fourth quarter. That game you talked about, Jacob, down at Holdenville. Holdenville leads 22-15 in the third. Vian is just blowing the doors off of Morris, 59-0. The Beggs Demons are up 48-0 over Tishomingo. Stroud, one of the best teams in the state, sitting there at 9-0. I'm not sure how they can be 9-0 in Week 9. Probably 8-0, 29-0 over Hennessy.
Unless they played in Week 0, Coach.
True. And they have a bye week the last week before playoffs. Maybe. You never know over there. And then let's see. Salina, a team that we talked about last week, is getting beat by Colcord 20-0. Kansas over Chelsea, 35-7. Keys is up over Commerce, 28-7. And Valiant says they've already beat Wilburton 34-14. Onside kick, good job by Tucker McManus right there on the front line there for Henryetta. So the Knights will set up pretty much kind of where we've been the whole night to start those drives right around the 50-yard line. I want to give a shout-out to a couple of cross-country athletes. Senior Kinley Kaler and junior Stormy Waukee qualified for the 3A state cross-country meet on the girls' side last week here in Henryetta. They travel to Edmond, Santa Fe tomorrow, and they'll run at approximately 11:15 a.m. So hopefully the rain will hold off long enough to let them compete in the state meet. First pass goes to Will Perez. Tried to catch his balance and try to stay in bounds, but couldn't. But nice first down pickup. And Henryetta comes right out of the gate, putting the ball in the air. And maybe one of the best balanced nights we've seen out of the night offense, doing it in a bunch of different ways. We're really good on first down tonight, Jacob. 2nd and 1.
I'd like to know what our yardage is on first down, what we're averaging, because you're right, we've been very successful.
Ooh, that ball was almost out of Jason's hands. Hang on to it. He breaks it back up. Look out. He's got room, trying to beat one guy. Safety coming across at the 10. Oh, horse collar tackle. No flag. Jason keeps going. Nice run there. That's the second time Jason takes off one direction and everybody turns their head to look to see where he's going to come out at, and the next thing you know, he's coming right back, reversing the field. And that ball was at the 45, so 42-yard. Where's the ball at? The 3 or the 4? So 50 or 40. Gosh, I'm losing my mind. Somewhere around 40 yards for Jason Powders. And the night offense coming right out of the half. Hand off to Jason. Breaks a tackle. He's in for a touchdown for H-Town. Jacob, you threw out the challenge to the Henryetta crowd. And instead, I think the football team heard your challenge about coming out of the half, stepping on the field from the locker room and controlling the football game, and they have increased their lead to 3 scores. Blaze Hill on, trying to make it a 20-point game. Kind of surprised we're not going for 2 here to make it 21. Nice kick by Blaze. Is it good? And it is. Nice kick there, bud. So 27-7. So Henryetta, nice opening drive of the third quarter. And I hate to be that guy. I feel like I've referenced it all night long, Jacob, but the last time we were here at Cameron Field, we came right out of the half and drove right down and scored and went up 3 scores over Valiant, and then you know what happened.
Yeah, there were some mistakes that were made, momentum that we allowed Valiant to kind of build some momentum. I will say Valiant is a better team than Spyro on paper, and, you know, we played a whole game against Valiant, and now we played a whole half against Spyro. I would say that they're not the same caliber, but anything can happen on a Friday night, and so we just got to make sure that with this easily explosive Spyro offense that we can continue to keep pressure in their quarterback's face and continue to blanket the field with coverage.
The drive shows that Henrietta's football team is ready to roll tonight. How we handle the rest of the football game may show if they're ready to roll for playoff time, because good teams do just that. They put their foot on your throat, and they don't let up. Blaze gets a good one off. Need that thing to stay in bounds. Man, that took a bad bounce. So Spyro will get the ball at the 35. But again, just want to give a shout out to Kinley and Stormy, who will be running in the state cross-country meet. Stormy finished 7th last week in the regional to medal, and KK got in as a qualifier. And just want to give a huge shout-out to our senior, Kinley Kaler, who's really battled through some health issues this year. not just to keep competing, but to finish that regional race and finish in a position where she gets back to the state tournament in her final go as a senior. Spyro back out on offense, 1st and 10. Draw, Taylor Hamrick. And if I'm thinking right, I bet I hear that call back next week on Mr. Seth Hamrick's Facebook. 20 got the football from the handoff, and then he got upended, and the fathead is pointing back toward the press box again. I don't know if Seth's just wanting Turner to call his name, make sure he calls Taylor's name or what. It's pretty funny, but I think Seth is just making fun of himself again. But for West Virginia, South Carolina, and Pryor, the Hamrick family, 51 is bringing it tonight. Back to pass after the loss. Quarterback rolls out to his left. He's right-handed. Ooh, nice rollout, and that is a terrible, not a good penalty there by Henryetta. It's going to be a late hit out of bounds, and the one on Taylor earlier was kind of a wasn't a flag, but looked like a flag. That was a flag.
Yeah, it was, and that comes with high emotion because this is probably the most emotion we've seen out of this Henryetta team, since, I don't know, probably Valiant. So as they're starting to build momentum, they just got to realize that they got to balance it. They can't go over the top with it.
So the one official throws another penalty, and I don't know who he's throwing it on. This is well after the play and came from all the way over here behind the Henryetta defense. So I hope this isn't two of them on us. I don't know if he's calling it on. I think he's calling it on a kid on Spyro's sideline. So this may end up. It won't offset, I don't think.
It does look like it's a kid on Spyro's sideline. There's a coach over there that is chewing a kid.
But they haven't marked off. They haven't marked off the late hit yet.
There is a guy that's getting. Is he getting thrown out?
Where?
Blue shirt. Oh, I'm confused. No, he's not. But blue shirt on the Spyro sideline. He's pointing at Nathan or one of our guys on that far side over there. Letting our guys hear it.
Is that one of our chain? That's not one of our chain gang guys, is it?
I'm not 100% sure, but
that looks like Vince Williams over there, but I may be wrong.
Well,
what's weird is I guess both of them offset, so it's just like nothing that happened after the play. So 2nd and 4. Confusing. Quarterback back, looking over the middle's got a guy open and he drops it.
Help him up. Nice.
Will trying to help number one up. He didn't want help. Will said, okay. Some of the Spyro fans upset about that late hit there. I mean, say it's a late hit, but I don't think Will knew the kid dropped the football.
No.
So it looked like a late hit out of bounds, and then I think it was an unsportsmanlike on Spyro. So more or less they 15-yard offset. So 4th and 5 here. Big play for the Henryetta defense. Quarterback going to roll it out. Watch him running it. Nope. He's got a guy on him. Good job. Gets away from Jordan Miller. He's going to try to throw it back across. Go get that ball, Jason. Ooh. Nice stick. Look at him towards the sideline. And that is some serious emotion. And you better replay that, dude.
Oh, I'm on it, Coach. He didn't have possession of the ball, did he?
No, he didn't make a football move.
Watch this playback. Goodness gracious.
Good play by the Spyro quarterback. Turns around, throws across his body. Ooh. Jason Powders.
Look at that celebration, too.
And that's a senior right there playing with all heart.
Man, I hope we've got that clip. I hope we've got that clip.
Well, Maddie and Ella's right down there, so I don't know. Hopefully so. So Henryetta takes over after the turnover on downs at the 41, and here comes the offense trying to extend this lead. Hand off to Powders up the middle, breaks it back this way, and then just tries to get it upfield, and he's going to gain 3 on the play. And, man, that energized this Henryetta crowd, who's kind of sitting back enjoying nachos right now, I think, and we can't do that against a team like Spyro that can score quickly with the arm talent they've got in the backfield. So 2nd and 7. Ball at the 38. Pass to Nathan Nail. Thought Nady was going to try to get that cut back outside, and that's going to be a penalty on number 7 of Spyro. Was giving Nathan the business when he was on the ground. Taylor needs to get his butt back to the huddle.
I'm a little confused on what the celebration was there, though. I mean, it was like a.
They called it against us.
Oh wow. They call it on Bub?
I don't know. I mean, the way the flag came out, number 7 was Nathan was on the ground for 2 or 3 seconds, and 7 was still in his face and almost looked like he was shoving him down onto the ground more. And as soon as I saw it, I turned and saw the guy throw his flag, but he may have been looking in a totally different direction. So that'll back Henryetta up to the 50, 3rd and long. Handoff goes to Tater. Cuts it back up the middle. Running room. Breaks another tackle. Stay on your feet. He does. Still trying to go. Good job, Nathan White. No flags on the play. So nice play call there in 3rd and long. Most people like, throw the football. But again, Henryetta at the 50 trying to probably put themselves in a more manageable 4th down situation. But instead, they get a big play to move the chains down to the 25. So that 2-headed rushing attack, 21 and 2, continuing to control the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. Nathan in motion, spins it back the other direction. Throw to Nathan White. Forward pass is the call. And there's another penalty flag. And number 7, the one that was getting after Nathan earlier, him and Nathan are there together again, and I think they finally got it on him.
He was trying to pull Nathan down. Wow.
We must be saying stuff.
I'm sitting there watching because I was watching the white hat. He was sitting there looking at Nathan and number 7, and Nathan's standing up, and he's got both of his arms up in the air, and number 7's got 2 hands on his jersey.
At the very least, it looks like an offsetting situation, but I don't know. Of course, we can't hear anything, and we're not seeing everything, obviously, but hand off to Jason. He is dropped in the backfield. So another loss on the play. So 3rd and forever for Henryetta. And what has been a pretty good drive has just been marred by 2 not good penalties. And we do not need to get that started again.
But I'm going to be completely honest with you, Coach. I haven't said this a lot this year, but I don't really agree with those calls.
Well, again, unless it's literally vocal.
Yeah.
You know?
But the flag was thrown, I mean, it was on Nathan, and he threw the flag 20 yards down the field.
3rd and long, hand off to Jason, trying to do the same thing we did a while ago. Nice block in there by Nady. Jason still picking his way through. Good pickup there. So it'll get us down in 4th and manageable. And I say manageable, it's still going to be 4th and 20. 18 maybe. So Henryetta needs to compose himself here a little bit. No need to start the old shoot yourself in the foot game again. And I'll agree with you, Jacob. At least one of those, I would have bet money they were on Spyro. It was almost like they pointed the wrong direction. Spyro's going to have to take a timeout. I think they had too many guys on the field or not enough. They were running dudes off, and coaches were telling them to get back on. And so...
And see, this is a difficult situation because being up, and with high emotions, and Spyro is, they have a playoff appearance on the line, so there's going to be a lot of emotion from the Spyro team doing everything they possibly can, to fight and claw and keep themselves in this game. You just got to stay composed. This isn't the last time you're going to go through this, especially come playoff time. I'm sure it's tough though.
Yeah. Hell, it'd be interesting to find out later. That was just a weird sequence of events.
Yeah.
If Nathan was talking to number 7, usually you see the penalties thrown on the guy retaliating, which he was retaliating. The one before that's the one I don't understand. I mean, Nathan was literally on the ground, and the play was over, and he was still just pushing down on him. It was weird. 6:37 to go. Back to play. 4th and long. Need a big play to move the chains here for Henryetta. Spyro going to run a guy on late again. Brady to pass. Has got time. He steps up in the pocket, throws a cross, and it's dropped. That wasn't going to be enough for a first down. So the ball will go back over on downs to Spyro. So after Henrietta's initial drive of the third quarter, 2 possessions, one by each team, just teeter-totters back and forth, and Spyro will take back over. And, Jacob, I'm looking at the scoreboard, and I see a 3-score game, but it's a 20-point game, not a 21-point game. So let's hope that it doesn't come down to that, because Spyro's extra point guy looked pretty solid, their one score. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball at the 33. Jordan Miller was getting hailed right there. Pass is complete for a gain of 2 or 3. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Henryetta defense played well tonight. Needs to continue to step up big. 3 receivers split out here to the right on our side. Quarterback looking. He's got pressure. He gets through it. He's going to pass. That ball is out of bounds. And so the pressure tracking him down. But you mentioned it earlier, Jacob, number 2 with good awareness, hanging on to the ball and letting his receivers try to work open. So we've seen Spyro go for a 4th down in this area of the field right before the half. I would almost be willing to bet you this is 4-down territory for them right here. Got pressure, 51. Taylor Hamrick trying to throw it. Gavin breaks on it, and that had pick. Maybe not 6, but definitely pick written all over it. So nice job by number 11. And that pressure by 51, Taylor Hamrick, just made Graham kind of throw it off of his back foot. And it didn't have the velocity that we've seen on it a lot, and almost let Gavin step in front of it and take it away. Well, Spyro's going to call another timeout. They're second of the half here in the third quarter already. And we're going to stay with you and go to sideline cam if we can find Mavericks.
He's right down here. He's talking.
Nope. He feels his phone ring and he's taking off. So we are going to take you to Muskogee Nation sideline cam. Mav boogieing over there, getting close up. So we talked about that in the first half. Lots of eyes right there on Coach McGill listening on this big fourth down coming up. And I said a while ago I thought it would be four down territory. And we're getting ready to find out if Spyro is kind of in that mode where they understand possessions aren't really on their side, needing to score 3 times. Looks like they're going to try to extend this drive right here. Last time in this situation, they threw the ball deep. We'll see what happens right here. 4th and 7. Snap, quarterback back. That looks like a – oh, no, he throws it up the middle, and it is caught, and he is already down. And
see, how is –
that's going to be a late hit penalty on Tater, but the kid caught the ball and stood up like he was getting ready to run. I don't know if Tater really knew that he was on his knees at one point. So another personal foul penalty against the Knights is going to aid Spyro in this drive. And we talked about in big games like this, you know, people that make mistakes, teams that make mistakes, puts your team in a tough position. Even though Henrietta's up 3 scores, Spyro keeps this drive alive. So we've got to play smarter, and there's a flag on the play. Sideline warning on Spyro, which won't be a penalty the first time. So warning is a warning. 1st and 10, 5:18 and counting in the third quarter. Still a lot of football left here to play. Pass down the sideline. Nady trying to get his head around. Good job on the coverage. And number 12 fighting to try to catch the football. And that was a big arm right there out of Graham.
I don't know what kind of attention he's got for the next level, but I've been very impressed. And, I mean, there's been some drop passes tonight where he's created some opportunities when you thought he might have taken a sack.
Yeah, he's a nice player. 2nd and 10. Pressure up the middle. He avoids it. He's going to try to buy some time and throw it away. He's outside the tackle box and passes the line of scrimmage, so incomplete. And so Taylor was bearing down on him, and he just kind of sidestepped him. There's Cavern Foster and Mr. Sheldon Andrews walking up the bleachers there.
Look at that.
While we're giving shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to my sister, Christina Crittenden. Christina being graduate 2000, Henryetta High School, is in town visiting my parents, watching the game. 3rd and 10. Pressure up the middle, caught by number 40. He hits a couple of nice receptions in this drive. He is tackled down close to the line to gain. So number 40 has done a nice job of finding the open space, and this thing's going to get real close. Looks like it's going to be a 4th and short coming up here. So, Jacob, on a 4th and 1 or less than 1, are you running quarterback draw or QB sneak?
Yeah, I think you put it in the hands of number 2 here, honestly. When it comes to their offensive efficiency, it's when the ball's in his hands. So you got to think here that Henrietta defense is going to be sending some pressure.
So if Henrietta sells out, they just need to make sure they hit the right gap. Oh, they're going to throw it, and it's intercepted. Oh, my goodness. Nathan Nell trying to get around the right side. Look out, he's got room. Will needs one block. There it is. Nathan Nell going 20, 15, 10, 5. No flags. Pick 6, touchdown for number 13, Nathan Nell. And they put it in Two's hands, but he throws it when he only needs a half a yard, and he throws it to the wrong team.
It was such a long play, we couldn't even get the interception on replay there, but what a great play.
And momentum shifts back to Henryetta in a big way. Nathan caught that football on the interception at the 25, his own 25, and returns it 75 yards. And I know a guy in Louisiana that's probably on his feet in a trailer or a hotel room getting after it after that pick six. Kick is good from Blaze Hill. And just like that, when we saw Spyro driving, trying to cut it to 2 scores, in the blink of an eye, it flips, and it's a 4-score lead for Henryetta on a big play there by Nathan. And if those penalties were earned by him on the last drive, I am going to forgive him for the time being. But I will still rip him in the hallway next week. But you always hear that. You always hear that penalties and turnovers turn off really, really, really big in big football games. Sorry, I'm reading a text here. I guess my mic was off when I was talking about cross-country girls, Stormy Waukee and Kinley Kaler. Not sure which time my mic was off, but they're both running in the 3A cross-country meet tomorrow at Edmond Santa Fe. Stormy finished 7th in the regional, and KK has overcome a lot of health issues this year to not only run and finish that regional race, but qualified for the state tournament in her last season. Kickoff goes to number 1, and he's hit by freshman Braxton Stockholm, who's doing a nice job, and he always gets up with a little bit of juice. So look for 20 to be a guy on defense in the years to come for Henryetta, who's graduating a few of those seniors there on the defensive side of the ball.
Rumor has it, Coach, senior night next week will start on Thursday, so that way we can get ready for kickoff on time.
Good one. So, here we go. (34-7), 3:53 to go. Just kind of catching our breath here. Flag on the play. That one wasn't near as emphatic. Delay a game versus Spyro. And now, point here. There's been some chippiness, Jacob. Henryetta got to be very careful. Not sure who the unsportsmanlike or personal fouls were on early in the game, but if they pick up another, you don't want to see them setting on the sideline next week in Week 10. Quarterback is going to be sacked on first down. Blake Gaxiola right there. Jordan Miller on the sack, 2 senior defensive linemen. We said this last week, or we said it in the pregame, Blake seems to be moving as good as we've seen him since the Okema game, so getting healthy just in time. 3:20 and counting in the third. Feels like we've played a half already. Quarterback steps up in the pocket, looking for 40 down the sideline, and number 40 has done a nice job. Good job by Will there to hold him up, not to get a late hit penalty. And some of that over there, there's not a whole lot of room between the sideline and the fence. And there's a lot of bodies and cheerleaders and chains and pom-poms and all kinds of stuff laying over there. So, again, Graham doing a good job of finding number 40. Davis Carter. Pass to number 18 is caught. He gets it upfield, tackled by 44, Bub Miller. There is a flag on the play. Not sure what that's going to be. Maybe a hold downfield for Spyro. Yes, holding. Or say if they call a penalty on Bub Miller right there, I'm going to seriously question what's happening. It was just a good clean hit by Bub, but holding downfield. So we'll take that one. It'll mark off back to the 41. So we'll replay first down. 1st and 13. Quarterback back to pass, looking. Oh, almost another pick by Nathan. And Graham has kind of started to zero in on 4-0, trying to get him the football down the field. Luckily, that one was incomplete, and lucky for Spyro, not picked by number 13, because he looks pretty good running to the north with the ball in his hand right now.
Really, he's like the only one that's really had success catching the football tonight too.
2nd and 13. Blake, I think that's going to be offsides, neutral zone infraction. And that's exactly what it is. Blake trying to jump the gun just a little bit. Was a little early there. So Spyro will take that 5 yards to get back within the original 10-yard to gain. So that'll set up 2nd and 8. .234 to go in the third. Anyway, we were talking earlier, it's been chippy. We just need our guys to continue to play good, solid, fundamentally sound football and don't make mistakes. Drop pass by number 20. And to be fair to number 20, he had a 44 on him as soon as the ball hit him. So 3rd and 8 upcoming. And we know this will be 4-down territory since Spyro has gone for it twice on their own side of the 50 tonight. Down 34-7. Kind of getting into desperation mode. Look for number 40 right here from Spyro to try to get the football. Kind of a delayed snap right there. Actually, a little double move to number 18, and Graham drops it right into his arms. Big pickup. Gavin just kind of got turned around right there, and a little double move by number 18. Nice route there by Preston Darnell for a 1st down for Spyro.
I mean, I like
ball out to the 23. Go ahead, Jake.
I like that route, Coach. I do. I mean, he ran it well too, but then again, I mean, that was just a perfect ball. It was exactly where it needed to be.
Henryetta bringing pressure. Pass knocked away by Gavin. Good job to come back right there and play that one well. Graham kind of telegraphed that one.
It's kind of a great example of how our defense has been tonight. Anytime that Spyro's gone to make a big play, we've answered right afterwards. So I mean, it shows the character of this defense.
Second and 10. It's again ball at the 23. Rolling to his left. Quick pass to number 1. Looking for running room. He's brought down by 2 or 3 Henryetta defenders. Jason Scott, Taylor Hamrick, Jordan Miller all right there on the stop. It'll bring up a 3rd and a long 3. 1:57 to go in the third quarter. Still got a whole quarter to play. Graham in the gun. It's going to send 20, switch him over to his right side for protection. Kind of a low snap. He rolls to his left. He's got a guy in his face. Oh, and Tater had a chance to knock that football down and just didn't find it. And that's going to be good for a Spyro touchdown to number 7, Connor Reed, who struggled tonight catching the football, but he hauls that one in. Actually, is it short? It is marked short. I swear he caught that ball in the end zone. So 1st and goal. No, they're lining up for the 2-point conversion, or the extra point. Sorry, it's been a long week.
Yeah, we start to get delirious in this press box towards the end of the game.
Kick is up, and it is good. So Spyro comes back after the pick 6 and gets it back to a 20-point game.
Isaac, let's go back.
34-14. What are we going to do, stay here, or we're going to go to the sideline cam? I want to give a shout-out to the 6th grade boys basketball team who played McAllister today in the finals of the Eufaula elementary middle school tournament, and they are your champions. So big win by the 6th grade boys basketball group. Just getting their season started. Off to a good start with a tournament championship. Little student section action going on down there. The student section looks a little thin tonight, guys.
There was more people earlier. I think it's just starting to get a little cold, and people are starting to realize how this game is going.
Well, it's going kind of back into Spyro's direction there after that. They're still way behind. They're going to try to kick that. We need to get on that football, get out of bounds. And so it is out of bounds. And nice kick there by the Spyro kicker. It was right into a no man's land where no man was standing with a gold or a black and gold helmet on. And if that ball takes a bounce up or down the field, number 18, who had the nice catch on the little double move, stop and go on the last drive, was nearly close to recovering that football. So the ball goes out of bounds at the 44. So good starting field position for Henryetta. We need to respond with another big drive. Would love to see us go to work on the ground and run some clock here. That's what we do. Hand off to Nathan White. Nice gain down to the 40. Pick up a 15 on the play. So clock will stop to move the chains. And I tell you what, a couple different times this year, Brady's handoff to Nathan. I don't know if Nathan's a little shorter than Jason, but he's hitting him right at the top of the numbers, and Nathan's having to really work hard to secure the football. Needs to get that thing right in his gut. Handoff to Jason. Nice. Was going to say tackle, but Jason makes the 2 guys miss, and now he's going to continue to carry guys. And watch this, if they throw him down, that was going to be a penalty, but good job of Jason to keep his feet moving. And he is going to be down to the 30. Another H-Town first down. Not sure where Jason is on the night on the ground. But he came into tonight's contest needing around 320-something yards. Actually, less than that to break the regular season, single regular season record. I don't think he's quite over 200 by any means, but hand off to Nathan White up the middle. He is drugged backwards. That looks like maybe a face mask penalty. Thrown, yes, that's what the side judge on the Spyro side's calling. Face mask, 5-yard penalty. And I'm surprised that's just a 5-yarder because Tater's body was still going north, but his face mask was going south. So that doesn't look like an incidental face mask. Did they mark off more than 5 yards?
Yeah,
though?
it looked like 15.
Oh, so They give him 15 on it. So Henryetta down at the 12. Clock running, maybe the last play of the third quarter. Hand off to Powders off the left side. Runs into a couple of Spyro guys there. And he is stopped at the 7-yard line. And that will run the time down on the third quarter. So Henryetta leads it 34-14. What are we doing, guys? Are we going to sideline or going to a commercial?
I say we go sideline.
Okay. Get cheerleaders.
Oh, yeah. Get the cheerleaders.
Show them some love. You got a hold of him?
Now, get the cheerleaders. Get the cheerleaders.
So we go to the Muskogee Nation sideline cam.
Just go down the line.
And there is your Henryetta Knight cheer squad. Getting the H-Town crowd fired up for the fourth quarter. That cheer squad's hard at work right now, putting in 5 a.m. practices, preparing for their game day regional competition, which will take place next Saturday in Stroud, Oklahoma. The cheer squad, coached by Kristen Hargis and Claire Dudley, will travel to Stroud, looking to qualify for the game day state competition, which they have done the last at least 2 or 3 years. So trying to keep that streak alive. And so our cheerleaders are girls that are involved in all kinds of other activities, band, softball, cross country, all kinds of things. So sometimes you got to be creative in practices, and I'm sure the girls aren't liking the creativity of 5 a.m. But that's where they put all their work in, and hopefully it pays off next Saturday at Stroud. Back to play, fourth quarter. Brady rolls to his right. There's Bub Miller. Touchdown, H-Town. And when we get Brady rolling out to his right, Jacob, he's good on the run. And Bub was wide open, so that was an easy pitch and catch and trot into the end zone. And the Knights hit the 40 mark here in the fourth.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. When Brady has the ability to improvise and get out of the pocket and see the field, I mean, he does such a good job of creating plays for his receivers, and his receivers do such a good job of being where they need to be when that ball is thrown.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've been impressed. Brady's played a good football game tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
He hasn't thrown the ball. Nice kick there by Blaze. That ball had some height and depth to it. So 41-14, turn the numbers around, and the Knights are up big again. But again, Brady, just to speak to his night, he hasn't put the ball in harm's way, throws the ball away when he doesn't have it. He's thrown it into positions where only his guy can catch it. And when he's had open receivers, he's hit them on the mark. And you like to see that, Jacob, as we head closer and closer to playoff competition, because Henrietta's run game is good, but when you start playing playoff teams, you're not going to be able to sit there and run the ball 20 or 30 times a game.
No, I love how dynamic our team is, offensively and defensively, because we can sit back in coverage, but we can also send pressure. And like you said, I mean, our run game, having Nathan White and Jason Powders in the backfield, that's hard to stop on its own. And our line has been playing great, but then, you know, Brady, the way he's been throwing the ball, and he's been very, very smart with the ball in his hands, and our receivers have been able to go make plays, whether it be Kona, Gavin, Nathan, or Will. Bub or Blake even at the tight end position. So they're a dangerous team going into playoffs for sure.
The one thing that, you know, Brady's one of our golfers, and we talked a lot about it during the offseason or season of golf. Sometimes when he was younger, just had a tendency of trying to force stuff to happen. And he is doing a good job of letting the game kind of come to him. Nice coverage down the field. Damon Arthur, number 4. And again, I'm going to say it, the most improved portion of this Henryetta football team is kickoff coverage team.
Yes.
And Blaze doing a nice job right there, kicking the ball deep. We haven't got to see him do much of that because we've been angling it out of bounds just because the first 2 weeks we couldn't tackle anybody. And again, playoff time, you can't be giving the opponent the 35 or 40-yard line every time you kick off to them. Even as good as your defense is, you don't want to put them in those types of situations. I tell you what, the grass here at Cameron Field is turning pretty much yellow, mostly from drought. But you can see the spots starting to wear out in the middle of the field. We're going to look interesting next week. Flag on the play, delay of game against the Bulldogs. Another interesting thing about next week, I saw a weather report. We're supposed to get somewhere between 6 and 7 inches of rain just this weekend. And then there's chances of rain every day next week all the way up until the end of the week. So Cameron Field is going to be probably a little wet for the first time this year next Friday night. Jason Powders hits number 2 all the way down to the 1-yard line. And Jason, not sure what that move is he's doing whenever he's celebrating.
Conor McGregor walk.
It's the what?
The Conor McGregor walk.
Conor McGregor. Okay.
UFC?
Yeah, I know who he is. Didn't he get beat his last 3 fights?
It wasn't a check. His leg was broke. It wasn't a check.
11 minutes to go. Spyro, huge loss there on first down. Taylor Hamrick, pressure.
Gosh.
It is complete. Out to number 40. And forward progress is going to get him out to the original line to gain, so it'll bring up 3rd and long. And Henryetta just keeps rolling heavy pressure up the middle. And it doesn't look like we're bringing more than they have to block. It's just sometimes they just look untouched, which means our first 3 guys are doing a good job of drawing a lot of attention up front. And here comes more pressure by Landon. Ooh, almost a nice one-handed grab there. And I'm going to tell you what right now, we've talked a lot about Bryson Graham being a good quarterback, but I'm going to go on record and out on a limb right here. When he closes his eyes tonight, he's going to see a black and gold helmet coming at him because we have been relentless. And, Jacob, you called it. You thought that the pressure was really going to give him fits tonight, and it has. So 4th and long. Graham looks like he's wanting to try to – he tries to flip it away. I think he was going to try to punt that football.
At what point is that not intentional grounding, though? That's the question. He's pretty much in the pocket, and there wasn't an eligible receiver around.
Well, there may have been a guy there close. Either way, it's going to turn over to Henryetta. So great job by the Henryetta defense once again, and they are starting to smell Week 11 in their home stadium. And I shouldn't say that because tonight's win does not 100% clinch that. We need Vian to beat Valiant next week, which odds are they will, but Vian's going to have first place pretty much sewed up, I believe. So do they play everybody? Are they healthy? Looked like they were healthy tonight. They were up on Morris quick and big, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. Henryetta with the ball. Hand off to Powders. And he is in, barely touched. And H-Town touchdown for Henryetta, Jason Powders. I'd be interested to see if you can text Papa Morris and see where he's got Jason tonight in the ground game. And it may not be as many as you think, because I think some of that is pass. He's caught short little behind the line of scrimmage passes. Blaze hits another one, 3 in a row. And that's another another part of the game that we would love to see iron out and start to be consistent as we move closer and closer to playoff football.
And this is all you can ask for, really, is a sound offense and defense. Even your special teams is looking pretty good. And if you can do this coming into the playoff time, I mean, they are starting to line out at the perfect time.
You know, it's been since Morris since we've seen just a complete football game by Henryetta. And if you take away a couple of not smart penalties, you know, Spyro may not even be on the scoreboard at this point.
Yeah.
The clock is running. I'm not really sure why.
I wonder if the refs have it running. We're going to run it too then.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a good thing, just for the simple fact you want to minimize the number of plays in the rest of this football game because you don't want to see guys get hurt in a meaningless situation. And I forgot to tell you this last week, Jacob. We had a Night Vision fan reach out to us on Facebook Messenger to correct you that Baker Mayfield did not throw 3 interceptions against whoever that was.
It was the Ravens.
Yeah, he only threw 2.
Ah, that's true.
Landon Moore.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Wants you to know.
He definitely would let me know about it.
Baker only threw 2 picks.
I'll have to pick on him a little bit here after the game.
Unfortunately, I think Baker threw 2 more this last week.
It's all right. Baker could throw 15, and we're still going to cheer him on.
So clock running. Graham back to pass. Pressure. Fumble. Blaze Hill. And it is recovered by Henryetta. David Rogers, senior, coming off the field. Yeah. Pretty excited. So the ball goes back to Henryetta, and once again, Mr. Graham is about ready for this barrage to be over. But I will tell you, I think Spyro needs one more win, and next week, if they can win in Week 10, I think they get into the playoffs. And I think it's against, there goes Jason Powders, and he's going to be in for a touchdown from the 17, I believe. So 17-yard touchdown run for number 2, just capping off a big night out of him. And we talked about Spyro and their opportunity to make the playoffs. They've got Antlers next week, and Antlers has beat Atoka. So I'm thinking the winner of that football game. I don't know. I have to go look at the district standings, but I'm thinking the winner of that football game may be the 4th seed. The way that it looks right now, unless Valiant pulls off the unthinkable, would fall into the 3 spot due to that huge win Henryetta had over them here 3 weeks ago. And Henryetta would be looking at the runner-up, and Valiant, of course, undefeated, heading into next week's Week 10 game against Valiant, would be your district champion. And they would be set up to host the first 2 rounds if they was to win round number 1. Henryetta, if they do finish second, would host round 1. If they win that, then they will travel Week 12, most likely to a 1 seed. And usually round 2 puts you up against a pretty difficult opponent. Now, Jacob, don't you have a potential? I don't know how much that's changed since last week when you put it up.
So for our 3 and 4 seeds, there's been some things that have been switched around, but if I can find it here,
But
we'll take a look at it after kickoff.
We could probably tell who that 1 seed or 2 seed would be that we would face.
I want to
in
say
round 2.
It's Colcord and Beggs playing in that first round at the top of the bracket.
And we would match up against the winner?
Correct.
Well, that's interesting because that would actually be a 3 seed in that district, I think Beggs would be.
Or Stroud, correct.
Oh, Stroud.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. So, as I said, the second, that's going to be a difficult matchup. I don't know. If Beggs finishes 3rd, I don't know how they get Stroud the first round because that would be unless Beggs is finishing 4th in their district. So a lot can happen. We'll have to look at that, and we'll talk about that during the pregame next week, which, again, will be right here at Cameron Field. We'll celebrate senior night next Friday at 7 p.m. when Atoka, the Wampus Cats, come to town. Hand off up the middle. Just need to play clean football from here on out. 5 minutes to go. Nobody make a mistake. Nobody get hurt. Even on the Spyro side, because, again, they've got a big football game upcoming next week. And let me just pull up some district standings here while we are watching this game wind down here.
And to kind of add on what you talked about earlier on the Antlers Atoka game, if it's true and that was for that 4th spot, that just kind of raises the stakes more, I feel like, for next week, because then Atoka has nothing to lose. I mean, that's a serious trout game when you've got seniors playing possibly their last, or honestly, if you like you said, it'd be the last game of their career. We've seen it before, especially when Henrietta's been on that side of not having a playoff chance.
Well, but if Vian beats Valiant, then it doesn't matter if Henrietta wins next week.
Oh, wow, really?
Because Valiant will have 2 losses. Henrietta would have 2 losses, but Henrietta has the head-to-head. Not that we want to lose that game.
Yeah.
But it would all be for naught.
Yeah, you don't want to be looking for answers to questions you don't want to have a week before the playoffs.
Right now, Beggs is in the 3 spot, which is where they'll finish up behind Holdenville and Davis.
That's a tough district.
It is, and Community Christian's no pushover.
No.
So I don't see how Beggs and Stroud will play week 1, because Stroud is 9-0, 6-0 in District 2A5. I'm thinking maybe Beggs will play Alva if they match up with that district, if that's what you saw. So offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, which is just what we talked about not wanting to happen. So Spyro will go to 3-3 in district play. Antlers 3-3 after their win tonight, so that's what it's going to come down to for that 4th spot between those 2 teams. Graham's going to punt. Henrietta just needs to get away from it or fall on it in Nakona. So good job by the Knights tonight, bringing their best performance in a month or so. A complete game. Great job by Brady in the offense. Jason. Defense stepped up big time tonight again against what we thought was going to be a scary offensive opponent. So 2:30 to go. And even more important, guys here in the booth, we're still handing it off to Jason. They're going to let him try to get some.
Goodness.
There is a horse collar penalty. Now, these runs right here with 2 minutes to go with the game under control could come up big next week.
Man.
As he inches closer and closer. I don't remember what I was saying before that. And that's a pretty smart move right there, maybe by Coach McGill, to go ahead and bring number 2 off. Officials still discussing this penalty. I think they're discussing it more because the clock's running and they know they can take the air out of this game. Whoa. And they wave off the horse collar penalty. So it's just a pickup of 7 or 8, 6. Second down. Hand off to Nathan White. Bouncing it outside. And I will tell you, Spyro still pursuing the football. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of pride in the Bulldogs, who have been a really good football school over the years. One minute to go here. Henryetta probably going to go into victory formation, and that's exactly what they're going to do after that first down. And as time runs down on this ball game here in Week 9, I know what I was saying. Henryetta wins their 7th game of the season out of 9. So a great year already, with a chance to add win number 8. And we'll have to look this week, Jacob, for the pregame. That has to probably be in the top 10 of wins in the regular season in Henryetta football history. I'm not sure. We'll have to look.
Yeah, that's one thing that I feel so honored being able to call, these games with you is this. They've worked so hard over the summer, and it's shown. I mean, honestly, this is probably the best game of the season just because of how sound these guys played. They never really gave Spyro, even when they had some big plays, the opportunity to get back in this game. And so everything's lining out. They're playing some really good football. Hopefully we can do the same next week and host a home playoff game for the first time in who knows how long.
Yeah, just awesome scene here. The fans, it was a big football game, and they got excited a few times, but honestly, Henryetta kind of just came out from the jump and controlled the game. And now me up here, I'm always thinking, what's going to happen, what could go wrong, but that's just coaching, being a coach for you. But Henryetta just never seemed to be too bothered or upset, even when Spyro would make a run back at them. They just kept their head down and kept playing, and again, that bodes extremely well. As you see here, our tradition, fight song with the band and our cheerleaders, win or lose, but it's another win for Henryetta football in 24. Win number 7, win number 5 in the district, and they will be playing playoff football, and most likely it'll be right here in H-Town. Jacob, final thoughts.
Man, there's some hard-working individuals, and it's shown. They've gone through a lot of adversity throughout the year, some injuries, but, man, they look good for some playoff football.
Sure do. We talk about injuries. We've had some, but for the most part, we've dodged the major ones to the key positions and the skill positions. So good job by Coach McGill having his kids conditioned and ready to go to handle the season. And just a good job overall. I just want to give a shout-out to Coach McGill and his staff for preparing the Knights tonight and even last week in a game that, a lot of people weren't excited about. Preparing his team and winning 7-8 football games here is a huge accomplishment. I mean, in any program. So super proud of Coach McGill and his staff. They work extremely hard. No staff works longer hours than they do. These guys are down here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They may get a little time off on Saturday, but just really impressed with the hard work that they put in, and it's paid off big. So, Jacob, we're going to say goodbye, get our umbrellas out for the next 4 or 5 days, and try to keep the field in shape and see Henryetta play here in Week 10. We'll honor our seniors. I'm not sure what time senior night starts, so we will post that on our Night Vision Facebook page this week. But thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you to our sponsors, and we will see you guys next Friday for Week 10 for Henryetta football. You guys have a great weekend. Night Vision TV, out.
Thank you for watching Night Vision TV, your source for Henryetta athletics, powered by Love Ford.